It's the Orioles on Masson, and we welcome you. Oriole Park at Camden Yards, and a beautiful Sunday for the Indians and the Orioles in Game 3 of this 4-game set. Yesterday it was all about the Indians and the pitching, and the same thing could be true today if the Oriole bats can't get going against Corey Kluber. For the Orioles yesterday, one of the questions going into the ball game was their starter, Chris Tillman. Was Tillman going to be good enough to earn another opportunity? The answer seems to be yes, although that is a qualified answer. Chris Tillman after the ball game and Buck Showalter both talked about the performance.
Anytime you're able to find your command, I think that's the first part of any process, I think, and you know, it was there for the most part throughout the game.
Hopefully it's something to build on. You know, when you give up 3 solo home runs, usually that type of outing gives us a quality chance to win. There's just a couple of pitchers who'd probably like to have back and get out of that first inning, but we just didn't do much. I mean, the story was their pitcher and our inability to solve much off of them.
And you talk about not getting hits, Jim Palmer. The same thing is held true for today's starter for the Orioles as far as support's concerned.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew Castor, he's come over. Other than the home run balls, he gave up 3 home runs. Ball was flying when he played against the Twins here. Did get hurt by the home run in Detroit, but again, it was a 2-run home run. So all the home runs, 5 of them, 4 of them are solos. That usually doesn't beat you if, and this is a big if, the Orioles are scoring 3.3 runs per game. The Indians are scoring 3.4, so not a lot more, but what they're doing better. They're number 2 in pitching. The Orioles out of 15 teams or 13, so that's got to improve. You know, for Castor, he certainly is a veteran guy. You get him for 2 years, you know, pretty good salary, $8 million a year. They expect him to go out and be able to compete with Corey Kluber. You know, Tillman yesterday, Gary, you can't be pitching 2-0, 3-1, 3-1, 86, 88, and we saw the result, you know, 3 home runs. But at the end of the day, Castor can give him a chance to win today, but they better be good. Kluber's last start right here last June, 9 innings, 3 hits, 11 strikeouts, no runs.
And he comes into a ball game threatening to shut you out every time he starts. It is Earth Day. The tote bag's being handed out, and those are the colors we'll see on the Oriole jerseys. Baseball on Masson is brought to you by Ocean City. There's no end to the fun you'll have in Ocean City. Plan your trip today at OCOcean.com. It's a gorgeous Sunday afternoon. Our game time temperature brought to you by BGE Home. We know more, we do more. 63 degrees. Holy cow, as Harry would have said. Little breeze blowing in from center field. Starting lineup for the Cleveland Indians got changed just a moment ago. Here's what it looks like. Lindor, Kipnis, and Ramirez. Brantley, Encarnacion, Alonso, Gomes, Naquin, and Raja Davis was not going to start. Zimmer was going to be playing, but Davis came on. Zimmer's got a slight ankle sprain, so he's out. Yonder Alonso against the Orioles. Real good.
Yeah, he had Utah Streak, one of the 54 guys that have done that, the opponents against the Orioles. So Cashner, you can see 2-seam, 4-seam, so a lot of fastballs. What about 57%? Curveball, the slider, and the reason we kind of highlighted slider because in the opener of this series, Dylan Bundy pitched great. He threw 29 sliders. They swung and missed 41% of those. So those are the numbers. This will be his 5th start. He's pitched well other than the home run ball. He's got hurt, and you could see the 2-runner that kind of didn't do him in. He only gave up 3 runs in his last start in Detroit. Victor Martinez with the wind blowing to the left went that way for a 2-run home run, early lead for the Tigers. So what have they said? The late Jim Elliott used to write for the Sun paper. He said when you're a starting pitcher, your job is to try to outpitch the guy you're pitching against. Won't be easy with Corey Kluber on the mound.
For Cashner, he comes in against the Indians with an 0-2 record. His ERA is over 9 in the starts he's had against Cleveland. It is his 3rd career start. The last one he had was June of last year at Cleveland, where he worked 5 innings, and he gave up 5 runs, 6 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts against them. So Cashner will try and get his first win against the Indians and here at Camden Yards. Right-hander's delivery. We are underway, and the pitch will be taken down low as Lindor leads it off, the switch hitter, who has gone 1 for 8 so far in this series. Neither of these two teams hitting very much. The Indians got enough yesterday's ball game to get the win. The shutout 4-0. They out hit the Orioles 9-2 in that ball game.
Yeah, I think the one thing when you look at the lineup, nobody in this lineup has ever hit a home run off of Andrew Cashner. Not a lot of at bats, but that'll be a step forward. Stay away from the long ball if you can. And
the Indians have all these left-handers, and left-handers this year have started out with a 300 average against Andrew Cashner. The right-handers only 156, but it's loaded with lefties. First 3, you got Lindor leading it off, then Kipnis and Ramirez. Brantley's a left-handed batter. 3 more down towards the bottom. I mean, this is a predominantly switch hitting, left-handed against right-handed hitting unit for the Indians.
Yeah, it changes a little bit when Zimmer with the ankle goes out and Raji Davis, but what Davis does, if he does get on, it's a potential double because of his ability to steal, even though he tried to steal 3rd with nobody out yesterday and got thrown out. But he's a very good base runner.
We'll see what the Orioles can do with it. Chance Sisco threw out 3 yesterday, of course. Caleb Joseph behind the plate today. Francisco Lindor will line that one in the air. Shallow right, and plenty of time to get under it. Santander puts it away.
Take a look at the defense. Very kind of a high sky. Gentry, Jones, Santander for the outfielders. Beckham, Machado, Sardinas, Davis, and Joseph. And a lot of injuries, so Scope not playing, and Trumbo going to go out on rehab, and trying to get some of their guys healthy and back. But it's almost like a spring training lineup where you're on the road a little bit because of the injuries.
Mark Trumbo will be going to Bowie for a game tomorrow. He'll work two more exhibition games, not exhibition games, minor league games after that probably. Here is Kipnis, who's got a 7-game hit streak. He's continued it with a couple of hits in 6 at bats in this series. He's gone 9 for 31 during the streak. The Orioles put the shift on against him, leaving Manny on the left side. Cashner's delivery. First innings have been dangerous for the Orioles and very good for the Indians. Oriole pitchers have had trouble getting through the first inning. While this season the Indians have scored 17, only the Nationals. Number 1, Braves, Red Sox, Rockies, and the Indians and A's. We'll get into talking about the no-hitter. If you just woke up, the Red Sox were no-hit by the Oakland A's in a ball game late last night. I mean, you got to love this game of baseball. You got to love it. The hottest team in baseball gets no hit. Pitch will be taken up and away, and 3-1.
Yeah, the Red Sox, that was their 5th game out on the West Coast. They had scored 30 4 runs in the first 4.
They were, and then they get no hit. 3-1 pitch on the way, and that'll be foul, backing up and over the screen. Full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, you talked about how do you get the lefties out. Well, first of all, you don't want to go 3-2, because then you have to throw balls for a little bit more of the plate. Don't walk people. That's how you get the big innings. Kipnis just chased ball 4, but he's been struggling like most of these guys, hitting 181. Still looking for his first home run.
3-2 delivery to him, got him in the inside corner, and Cashner gets a strikeout.
Yeah, it's such a great pitch. 2-seamer. He can throw, with the 2-seamer and 4-seamer. Watch John Payne, the umpire. I mean, he's got the hand up in a hurry. Watch this ball come back, and kind of maybe an inch off the corner. So you can see why Kipnis thinks, well, but it's very, very close, right to the glove of Caleb Joseph.
So a couple of outs here in the first. Cashner trying to retire the side in order. Here's Ramirez. Ramirez has had a good series. He's gone 3 for 7. He's picked up a home run, 1 RBI. He has been on base in 10 straight ball games, hitting .342 over that streak. So a hot bat. Ramirez, the off-speed breaking ball, is in there for a strike, and he'll even it up. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ramirez with a couple of hits in 6 at-bats against the 31-year-old right-hander for the Orioles. 1-1 delivery on the way. Ramirez looks at heat at 93 miles an hour up high. Brantley waiting on deck. Cashner would like not to have to go there. Let's get Ramirez here and let Brantley be the leadoff man next time around. 2 ball 1 strike delivery on the way. Cut in and missed.
Yeah, that's pretty much the same pitch that Kipnis went down on strikes. Didn't get that call. And when you look at Jose Ramirez, he's turned himself coming through their minor leagues, hit over 300 pretty much every stop. Thought he was going to be a utility guy. He's one of the best third basemen in the American League.
Yeah.
Coming off a fabulous year, and there's the borderline pitch.
No, he has not struck out in his last 39 at bats. Both he and Brantley are on streaks of not striking out. That one just catching the lower part. See if Cashner can get him here. 3 ball 2 strike count with 2 down. And that one will be ripped for a souvenir.
Well, you can see how quick his bat is, and I guess if you get to see him every day, you realize what we saw yesterday, that he can also play third base for the best of them. A couple of diving stops coming in, a great running throw on the roller. The usual things that test a third baseman. He passed all those marks yesterday. And then he's a switch hitter. He hit 29 home runs last year. Ton of home runs.
And another full count delivery to him, and gets him. So that will end that streak. And for the first time in his last 40 at bats, Ramirez a strikeout victim in a 1-2-3 inning. Take a look at the lineup they'll be watching for the Orioles. It'll be Gentry, Alvarez, and Machado, Jones, Davis, and Beckham, Santander, Joseph, Sardinas for Manny Machado against the Indians. Some of the best career numbers. In fact, last year, the best against any team offensively for Manny.
And take a look at Corey Kluber. He is the reigning Cy Young winner. Won 18 games, only lost 4. A minuscule ERA at 2.25 last year. So the slider, probably the curveball. I mean, he's got all the pitches. Curveball is probably the strikeout pitch. You can see only 16 hits, 29 plus innings. And again, usually righties and lefties a home run each.
He just turned 32 years old. 78 and 49. His career record against the Orioles. He is 2-1, ERA of 2.76 against the O's. That's the career numbers. He's pitched a lot here in this ballpark. He's had 6 starts, and 5 of them previously have been here at Camden Yards. He's 2-1 here in this ballpark with a 3.12 ERA. Gentry 0 for 4 in the ball game yesterday. Will take the slider outside and a 2-ball 1-strike count.
I mean, his average fastball so far this year is right around 91, maybe a little bit over. So he's right in the range of what the average fastball is in Major League Baseball. Maybe a tick low, but the quality of the pitches. And you're hoping he's going to have a bad off-seat or a bad afternoon, and it doesn't happen very often. I was looking, Gary, the last time he gave more three runs is all the way back in August last year.
Yeah, he ended the season on a tremendous roll.
11-1 with an ERA of under 2 runs a game.
2-2 delivery, a comebacker. Gentry retired.
Yeah, take a look at their defense, and he will pitch quick. He averages 15 pitches per inning, so they'll be ready. Brantley, Davis, and Naquin out in right field. Ramirez, Lindor, Kipnis. Yonder Alonso with a big booming home run. He'll be at first, and then Yan Gomes with a home run yesterday, still behind the plate for the Indians.
So Raja Davis, a speedster, gets to roam in center field with Zimmer out of there with a slightly sprained ankle, who was in the original starting lineup. He can chase him down in center field, as Zimmer can do. Here is Alvarez in that number 2 spot, DHing. He's had an 0 for 8 in the series so far. Shift on against him. For Alvarez, 1 for 3 lifetime off Kluber. If you take a look at the Orioles lineup today, their combined batting average against Kluber is 153. Lifetime numbers against him for the Orioles in the lineup today. 1-0 delivery, and he'll just miss the inside corner. 2-0. One down, nobody on. Shift in full force, outfield deep. Little breeze blowing in a bit, maybe over to right once in a while. 2-0 pitch by Kluber will be popped up on the side where there are only 2. Brantley, look out. Ooh. Brantley, really, that's a ball for the outfielder, but Ramirez decided that he'd take it.
Yeah, he kind of put his head down and looked at Ramirez, and at that point he was just hoping that Jose would catch it. So the shift, so he'll go out and fighting the sun because it is bright, a little bit of wind, and Brantley could have caught it easily. Usually they kind of call it, and then the infielder stops and he catches it. But I think you see kind of a generalization, but more infielders go deeper and deeper, and I think one of the reasons is because they're playing deeper and deeper because of the shifts.
Yeah, they're way out there in the outfield grass when they're in the shift much of the time. 2 down, nobody on. Here is Manny. 9-game hit streak for the Orioles shortstop. He's gone 3 for 13 lifetime off Kluber. There are the numbers he has put up on the season. Good enough to keep him in the top 10 in all kinds of offensive categories in the American League. 1-0 delivery, and a slider will be taken outside. They're the longest hit streak going. Brian Dozier's got it with the Twins at 22. Then you got Moustakas, who nobody wanted. Manny Machado at 9. Grandal with 9.
Well, Kansas City wanted him.
Yeah.
They just wanted him for a 1-year deal.
In the air, left field. That is way back. Kluber with his head down. Goodbye. Home run. Manny Machado jumps on it. And the Orioles get the lead. 1-0.
So now 4 home runs in the last 4 days. You know, yesterday they held him to a single. One of the 2 hits the Orioles got, line drive to left. And you get the bonus here at 107 miles per hour exit velocity. Well, yesterday for the Indians, it was all about counts. 2-0, 3-1, 3-1. They hit home runs. This was 2-0. He gets a pitch to hit, and as we have seen lately in Detroit, a couple of home runs on Thursday, one on Friday night. He doesn't miss them.
Manny is now second in the American League in home runs. He's got 7. Only Mike Trout with 8 has more than Manny. And the pitch is a strike to Adam.
Well, let's talk about 2-0. He's trying to make a pitch. You can see it runs right back in the middle of the plate. So at 91-92, gets out of here very quickly.
Third home run surrendered by Kluber on the year. Adam Jones ground ball to short. Lindor up and will record the out. So the Orioles, who have struggled so mightily getting those first inning runs, a celebration, a Manny ball, and a 1-0 lead. Park, and after Sunday's game, the kids ages 4 to 14 get to run the bases, presented by Weiss Markets. Kids ages 9 and under will cheer free all weekend long and all season long. For tickets, Orioles.com. Kids will be running the bases today. Kids on hand, and if you buy an upper deck ticket as an adult, you get to bring 2 kids, and the upper deck big time full last night. Fly to right field. That ball is going to stay shy of the warning track, and Brantley is retired on 1 pitch.
Yeah, and you, if you're Andrew Cashner, you will remember that swing because he just missed a home run. Not a bad pitch because it was in the inside part, but you're always trying to judge bat speed. You know, and Brantley usually pulls the breaking balls we've seen in this series. It goes the other way on maybe fastballs out over the plate, but he got in, but just got under it.
Encarnacion stands in, the designated hitter. Not had a hit in this series with the 0 for 6. He's had a couple of hits and 6 at bats off Andrew Cashner. Orioles will shift the infield around. Alonso waiting on deck. This Indians team, starting back at the beginning of last year, they've gone 7-2 in their last 9 games against the Orioles. They won the season series 6-1 last year, and 4-game set here. Terry Francona, happy birthday. Terry's celebrating a birthday today, 59 years young, and would love to celebrate it with a win. 0-2. Pitch on the way, and that is a strike called at the knees, not agreed to. Encarnacion's out of there.
Well, John Tumpay, the home plate umpire, he likes to call people out. I mean, look at that arm. You could tear a rotator cuff with this call right here. Fastball right down the middle, and Edwin Encarnacion has been slidered to death in the first 2 games, and gets a fastball hit and it freezes him.
Gonna have to hit one before it changes, right?
Yeah. There's no way he's going to throw me a fastball 0-2, but he did.
Yeah, Cashner struck out 3 of the last 4. Here is Alonso at the plate. Alonso's had a good series. He's had a home run, RBI, going with the 2 for 7. Alonso continues his great streak of at-bats without striking out. Alonso, as we said, a couple in the lineup on an Indians team that's become a pretty good contact team and a pretty good swing on one right there.
Well, another one, hit one out into Utah Street, trying to do it right there with that swing, and why not?
One ball, one strike count. A couple of quick outs here in the second inning. And Alonso will take the pitch, and it is in there for a strike.
Yeah, for Andrew, pretty good velocity. It's not that he can't throw 94. He usually pitches 91, 92 with add and subtract. Let's see if he can. Hey, how do you were talking about lefties? How do you get him out? Roger McDowell looking on, used the curveball.
1-2 delivery, and we'll waste that one outside.
Yeah, this is the way he kind of goes by his sides. He's tough on himself. Pretty good evaluator. Self-evaluation is an important part of pitching. Didn't like the way he threw that pitch because it was out of his hand. It was just a wasted pitch. Still shaking his head.
Got to count even though 2 balls 2 strikes. Orioles infield will spend most of the day in a shift. Pitch by Cashner is a breaking ball that will miss. And the count goes 3-2 on Alonso. Alonso 3 hits 7 at bats against the Orioles starter. A couple of home runs against the Orioles in his career, one of them here at Camden Yards. Full count delivery, and he'll chop that one foul and keep it going.
So Andrew Cashner, he goes 11-11 last year, has a very low ERA, and everybody goes, well, he's not striking a lot of guys out. Well, this year a little different. So they've gone up, even though he pitched very well last year. I think that was one of the things. Otherwise, I think he would have got maybe a little bit longer deal.
3-2 delivery on the way to him. He'll pop that up again against the shift. That'll end up in the seats. Nobody's got a chance on it.
I think most people that saw Andrew Cashner, and we saw him twice last year, said, well, he can throw hard, but he went to a lot of 2-seamers. A lot more ground balls, put it in play. Certainly worked. It was 11-11 for a team that didn't play up to their capabilities, the Texas Rangers in 2017.
And a swing and a tip that's caught. So Cashner's got 4 strikeouts as he gets 2 of them here in the second inning. And the Orioles maintain a 1-0 lead. Middle River, 500 for being selected, 500 more for every Orioles home run hit today. So you've already got an extra 500 on Manny's shot. Play Home Run Richard scratch-offs went up to 50,000. Or enter non-winning tickets for a chance to be the contestant of the game. Visit mdlottery.com/home-run. I'd say good luck, Isaac, but you already had the good luck. Military Day here at the ballpark. A lot of those who have served and those who are serving and those who stand behind them on hand at the ballpark for this Sunday matchup. Corey Kluber face Chris Davis. Chris with a 1 for 14 lifetime off Kluber. Shift on against him down the line left. Brantley The left fielder's going to let it go because he's got no shot.
He'll let Jose Ramirez range to his right. Yeah, the amazing thing about Kluber, he only walked 36 in 29 starts last year, so he certainly knows where it's going. He struck out 265 batters in 203 innings. And then when they do hit it, he usually hit almost 2-to-1 ground ball to fly ball.
Two-time Cy Young Award winner. 18-4 last year. 0-1 delivery, shattered bat down to first. Alonso will go to the bag himself. Davis is retired, one away. Orioles have announced a season-long schedule of new theme nights at Oriole Park, featuring a variety of unique celebrations, promotions, and giveaway items, including the Sandlot Movie Night, Yoga at the Yard, LGBT Pride Night, and more. For ticket packages to these special events, go to Orioles.com/theme night. Earth Day, of course, here at the ballpark, started back in April of 1970. And there was a demonstration regarding taking care of the earth for clean air, water, and land. That resulted in a lot of legislation regarding pollution, environmental disaster legislation. And that year in 1970, Earth Day began, and we celebrated here again. In fact, the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, came about as a result of those protests and marches in 1970. Pitch is taken for a strike on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kluber works quickly. Beckham looking for his first hit in this series. He has had an 0 for 5. 5 walks in the last 5 games. Getting on. Down the line in right. And running hard. Diving and not quite in. The glove and out. Naquin. Great chance there. He was playing over towards the alley, so he had a long way to go.
Yeah, it makes a great effort, and of course everybody's looking at him. Ball way foul. Okay. In the glove and out, you mentioned.
Naquin with a shot that'll bring Beckham back to the plate. Orioles coming into this game with the big run differential. They are a -45. Only the White Sox have a greater negative margin in runs. White Sox a -50 starting on this Sunday, and that just can't go on with this lineup the Oriole has, you would think.
Well, the lineup's going to get better when they get Trumbo, and Mancini ran into the wall. He was leading off, doing a great job. 8-game hitting streak doing that.
Did he go? No. Mancini, the way Buck talked today, and when you listen to Buck, you usually have to get what's between the lines. It sounded like they're concerned he may have to go on a DL. Now, Buck didn't say that, but when asked about whether or not he'd be back and be able to play shortly, the answer seemed to be no. In the air, right center field. Naquin coming over on this one, and this one he'll get. Beckham retired, and there are 2 away here in the 2nd inning. Well, Shamania pitched that no-hitter last night, and just a tremendous performance against the Red Sox. 12th no-hitter in A's history. Last one came in 2010. Dallas Braden threw it against the Rays. The Red Sox, interestingly, they had the best record in Major League history for a team that got no hit. Last night, 17-2. Now the previous record held by the Giants, who were 18-5 when they were no hit by Kevin Millwood in 2003. Well, they'll go back at it again today.
Yeah, Jonathan Lucroy, who did the catching, he said Manaea is one of the best games he's ever caught. Not because of the no-hitter, just because of the execution. And then he talked about what catchers try to do. They all, try to do it.
That's a bunt off the plate.
Yeah.
They'll let it go foul. It will. Very close to staying for a bunt base hit by Santander, but it rolls foul.
And Jonathan's Lucroy's position or thing is that you're going to try to get on any way you can. Nice play. It stays fair. You got a base hit, and they wisely let it go. But what Lucroy was saying is that all catchers with all the analytics, you look at the numbers. They like to hit hard or soft. They high ball hitters, low ball hitters. You look at the swing path, and then it's up to your pitcher to execute. And he said Manaea was fabulous.
Benintendi had a base hit given to him in that game that got taken away 6th inning. With the umpiring crew ruling at the time he'd gone inside the line, running down to first, and that was the best chance the Red Sox had. So a hit had gone up on the board at one point, then came off. in that 6th inning. Pitch is just inside. The last team in the American League to be no hit happens to be the Orioles. It was Seattle, Iwakuma, back in August of 2015. That was prior to last night, the last American League team to be no hit. A breaking ball that's going to be down low. 2-ball, 2-strike count. Corey Kluber looking for a 1-2-3 inning. Manny Machado the home run in the first offing. Give the Orioles the early 1-0 lead. Orioles already have half the hits they had in 9 innings last night. Kluber 2-2. In the air towards left. Brantley coming. This time Brantley wants it and will take it. So a 1-2-3 inning. We'll go to the 3rd with the Orioles up 1-7. To the East Winds page, the Red Sox, as we said, the first team to be no hit since the Orioles were no hit by Iwakuma back in 15. That's in the American League. The Rays have won 3 in a row, 10 runs, their most since last year, end of the season. They hit 3 home runs, their most since that same month. That 10-1 win over the Twins yesterday. And the Yankees 9-1 over the Jays. They scored 7 in the 6th, their highest scoring inning since June of 16 at Colorado. Led by the Judge with another home run, 3 RBI game. Orioles have a 1-0 lead here. Here is Yan Gomes. Cashner's pitch is in there for a strike.
Yeah, Gomes with 14 home runs last year. Hit one yesterday, his 3rd of the year. And Roberto Perez hit 22 between them.
He's got a 7-game hit streak going. 1 for 2 off Cashner. 0-1 delivery. We come into this Sunday with the Red Sox leading 17-3 their record. 4-game lead over Toronto. 6.5 over New York. 10 over Tampa Bay. And 11.5 over the Orioles. Cleveland has jumped into the top spot in their division. That's a base hit to center field. First hit picked up by the Indians. A leadoff single by Yan Gomes here in the 3rd inning. Our PNC Minor League Insights brought to you by PNC. No better time to act than today. PNC, make today the day.
Again, off to a really good start. I was reading some of the numbers. I think 4 3-hit games, and he's done really a nice job. So your 7th round draft pick, what an opportunity. Of course, his dad certainly knew how to hit. One of the great hitters, over 3,000 hits, 500 home runs.
That ball's down the line in left field. Long run, and that's a foul ball. Gentry trying to get over there. Probably remembering what it looked like the last time somebody went to the wall and slid. Well, here on Earth Day, these are Earth distances to the minor league parks. The new sign that's gone up with the new mileage total.
And then if you want to take it a little bit farther, go on Google Earth. You can actually get maybe a drone look or helicopter look of all those places.
I just love the fact people can take a look at the house
Yeah.
Anywhere in the world, just get a shot of it.
Yeah. Unless you're old, and then of course, you know, the house that you used to live in is no longer around.
Fouled off on the third base.
I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah.
And an 0-2 count.
Right. That's where I used to live. Nope. Shopping center. It's not doing well because of Amazon, but other than that, everything's really good. Retail ain't what it used to be.
No. No. 0-2 the count. Naquin a 2 for 6 here. Backhanded. Cedinus didn't get it. Ball's going to roll to center. He will go and retrieve. Should have been an out. Recorded on that ground ball, but they're not going to get one, and they're a 2 on.
Yeah, at least you want to get one. You got a 1-0 lead, and you know Scope. Scope. He makes his play easily. I don't think you get 2 because you have to go to your right, and Naquin can run. But you got to get 1. And again, maybe getting the glove down. It's always tough to backhand the ball, but that's a relatively easy play. Yeah. And you get the lead runner.
Orioles 9th in fielding in the American League coming in. An error charged. Cedinus will be charged with it. Look for the bunt. Caleb Joseph comes up ready to throw to second base. Obviously, Yan Gomes, the lead runner, getting as big a secondary lead as he can if Davis is going to bunt.
And it's a tough base running decision because if he bunts through it, we'll see if he gets a pitch close enough to bunt. That's when you try to pick off.
Bunting foul.
And
Davis.
Yeah, you can see him. He did not get the barrel of the bat in fair territory.
Orioles have the wheel on with the first baseman Chris Davis charging. Cedinus moves over to cover first. Manny goes to second. And the tough position in these is Beckham. Beckham's got to get a read if there is a bunt, whether to come in and field or stay back and try and get an out at third base. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery. Does square, drops a beauty. Glove play, and didn't get the bag. Yes, he did. Cedinus did not get over, so he had to find the bag while the ball was coming to him, and he just did ahead of Davis.
Well, he's playing up the middle, so he's got to come a long way. It's a nice play by Tim Beckham. He comes in very quickly, and again, there's the throw to a vacant base, and it's almost like he stepped over the bag into foul territory.
Indians are reviewing.
Yeah, so does he get the bag? Yeah, it looked like it slid over the top of the bag, so they'll look at it, but I don't know if there's enough. But very nice bunt. You're down by 1. You got Kluber on the mound. You're trying to get him 2 runs, and so. And you can see Raji Davis, he's actually in that 45-foot line, so he's doing what he's supposed to do.
Real close.
Yeah, I talked to Nicole Sherry, the groundskeeper here for the Orioles. From the foul line to the grass is 3.5 feet. You know, we have narrower base paths in some of the ball clubs because that's always the way it's been. And that no-hitter you were talking about, Benintendi, was actually on the grass. So you have 3.5 feet to both sides of the line, except the last 45 feet to first base.
So now Francisco Lindor, runners on at second and third. Good sacrifice laid down by Davis. Lindor flied out first time up. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss. Now the Indians here in this series 1 for 16 with runners in scoring position. As a team, they are next to last in average in this department, hitting 188. And then the other side, you got Cashner, who has not given up a hit with a runner in scoring position. Teams are 0 for 18 against him, so something's got to give.
Yeah, and 190 last year. I mean, incredible year last year with the runners in scoring position. And what does he do? He gets quickly ahead to Francisco Lindor, who has really been striking out. I mean, he came into the game with 21 strikeouts. He only struck out in 650 at bats last year, 93 times. So strikeouts up.
0-2 delivery on the way, and he just gets enough. Pitch that was down, and he fouled it off. Count will stay at 2 strikes. See the outfield. Adam Jones has moved in a bit against Lindor. Wind blowing in a little bit as well.
Yeah, and those are the zones of where the red line says that's probably minimum where you could throw somebody out if there's not exceptional speed.
Lindor waiting, and he puts it up in the air. This will be interesting as the ball's being blown in. Runners not even going to tag. They're going to go halfway. Santander gets it, cutoff man, and a big out to get Lindor.
Yeah, we're seeing Anthony Santander as he gets more experience. He has come in these situations and not really know where to throw it. He's got a great arm, but right there, I mean, he threw a bullet right to the cutoff man, Chris Davis. So learning, because he came to spring training in great shape, so he can go get him. But sometimes a little tentative where to throw the ball, not then.
So for Cashner now, he continues his streak 0 for 19 against him with runners in scoring position. And here's Kipnis. Kipnis, a strikeout victim, his first time up. 7-game hit streak. Has 2 in scoring position. Orioles up 1-0. And Kipnis will take the pitch down low for a ball. Kipnis 0 for 5. Lifetime against Andrew Cashner. Indians just have not been able to find the big hits, and the Orioles haven't done a whole lot better in that department this season. Why both their run production numbers are down. 1-0, lifted that one up a bit and gets a strike.
Yeah, Andrew Cashner has a nice fastball today. That 95 right to the glove of Caleb Joseph, and saw Kipnis off of after the drop pop-up, lost in the lights or the sky or whatever. Took a changeup into right field off of Monday.
Kipnis will take that one in the air to center. Adam Jones is camped under it, and Cashner does it again. First 2 reach, they do not score. Orioles 1, Indians 0. On Masson, brought to you by PNC. Make today the day. And by the hotels at BWI.com. Minutes from BWI Marshall, Amtrak, and Interstate 95. Discover the convenience of the hotels at BWI.com. Here on this 63-degree Sunday afternoon. Orioles 6-15 on the year. They've gone 3-5 at home so far. For the Indians, they are 4-6 on the road. Cleveland at 10-8, as I mentioned, with the victory yesterday. They've moved into the top spot in the Central, a game ahead of Minnesota, game and a half ahead of the Tigers. Corey Kluber working. Caleb Joseph. Caleb will foul that one back. Getting his first licks here at the plate in this series against the Indians. He's gone 1 for 10 lifetime off Corey Kluber. Chance Sisco and he sharing duties. Chance in for the first 2. 0-1 pitch will be taken up high. Caleb's trying to get off the snide against right-handers. He's gone 0 for 18 against right-handers.
Look at that, 1 for 25 with the 12 strikeouts. Trying to get back to using the front arm directly to the ball.
1-1 to right. Naquin will move in underneath it and put it away. Fly balls coming for outs for Kluber. This season at Oriole Park, the kids indeed do cheer free. Bring young Oriole fans 9 and under free of charge. Every adult with a regularly priced individual game ticket in the upper deck is invited to bring up to 2 children free. For details, Orioles.com/kids-free. And there are lots of them on hand here today. One down. Sardinas batting in the number 9 spot. He will take the pitch away. He's picked up 1 hit in this series, the 1 for 6 for him. 1-0 pitch right off the fist. Kipnis. 2 down. Got breaking Orioles news as it happens. Check out the MASNsports.com site. Visit it for the latest headlines. Rock Kabako and Steve Molesky. Don't miss out on any O's story. Check it out, MASNsports.com. Two away. Sardinas facing Kluber for the first time, and he grounds out. 2 down. Here's Gentry, who grounded out his first time up. A surprising look on the field. It's an actual straight up defense. You see it so rarely anymore, it almost looks funny.
It's like the old days.
Yeah. Guys actually playing in the position they're assigned. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Nasty down and in.
Yeah, well, you just don't get a lot of pitches to hit, and you know, if you're lefty, he's going to cut it in on your fist like he did to Sardinas and Chris Davis. If you're righty, he's got a slider, kind of a curveball, goes up to home plate and then makes a sharp left turn without a turn indicator. There's your 2-seam fastball, and he's got them all. Change up, he actually started out Sardinas with, so he just doesn't pitch in the middle of the plate very often, unless he gets behind, which he did to Manny, and Manny turned on it. One of the hottest hitters in the American League.
Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way outside. Kluber got his victories in starts against Detroit and Minnesota, the last 2. He suffered a loss in the outing against Seattle in the opener. Gave up only 2 runs on 6 hits and 8 innings in that game, though. 78-49 is his lifetime record. 78-49. 2-2 delivery on the way, and a swing and a miss on a pitch that was away. So he retires assigned in order since the Manny Machado home run. 7 in a row been set down. Good stuff. A week of it. Here are the leaders over the past week. Javier Baez with Chicago, 526 leading average in the majors. Jed Lowry for Oakland on a tear, 12 hits, 11 RBIs in the last 7 days. Mookie Betts, 4 home runs, leading everybody in homers over the last week. Carlos Martinez, Cardinals, 13 innings and no runs. That's the best in the majors over that span. And saves, Bud Norris, Cardinals, and Wade Davis, Colorado, both 3 in the last week.
And we probably throw Manny on the bottom of that list. You know, he had 3 home runs, now 4. So that's a nice little week.
Very nice. Those, of course, numbers coming into today's play. 1-0 delivery on the way. Cashner, and that one will be fouled back on a big size cut. Ramirez. Strikeout victim is first time to the plate. Ramirez 2 for 7 now off Cashner.
And nice strike to ball ratio, 2-to-1. Through that fastball, poured it over the outside corner.
Whoop.
Oh.
Will it reach it? Back near the flag court, and goodbye. Home run.
Well, 29 home runs, 19 against right-handed pitching in 2017. Yeah, home runs are up, but that is a very, very quick bat. Not a horrible pitch. Just, you threw the ball by him, and he apparently has the ability to adjust because the bat got a lot quicker. Not this time.
So Ramirez has 2 home runs in this series and 6 on the year.
Yeah, I mean, it's in the middle of the plate, but how many guys hit this ball fair? You can see out front, 91-mile-per-hour fastball. Smokes it.
And that'll tie the ball game at 1. Here's Brantley, who will take the pitch. Brantley went after the first pitch he saw, first at bat, and flied out to right field. Brantley, as we said, has had the red hot bat. That will be taken down low. 6-game hit streak. Hit 9 of the last 10. And for Cashner, the long ball ties this ball game up. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery on the way. Ground ball, and on top of it, Godinez has got that one. Over to Davis. 1 down. 4th inning of Orioles baseball, brought to you by the all-wheel drive RAV4. Toyota, what drives you? Visit buyatoyota.com for great deals.
Yeah, and it's kind of surprising because in 28 starts last year, over 160 innings, he only threw 15 home runs. So that's the 6th home run, 3 in the first start by the Twins.
And the pitch strike on the inside corner. Encarnacion, a strikeout victim, his first time up. And the 0-1. Indians have used the home run. Yesterday there were 3 of them hit. They were all solo shots. Yan Gomes, Ramirez, and Alonso had the home runs in the ball game yesterday. 1-1 delivery on the way. That'll go to right. Santander coming hard. Not going to get it, and it will go by him. Adam Jones coming over to back up will make sure Encarnacion stays at second. It will be a double.
Yeah, young outfielder, and he doesn't get a good jump. He's playing deep in right center because of Encarnacion's power. And not even in our picture. So here he comes. He took a drop step, and right there, the dive. Doesn't get it by about 18 inches, and then it's going by him. I mean, we saw Gentry able to do that, but he's just a little more experienced. Did it in Detroit, kept it in front of him. So not only the base hit, but it happens to be an extra base hit in a 1-1 game.
So a potential go-ahead run with 1 down on at second base. Alonso will take a breaking ball in the dirt. Caleb Joseph blocks it. Alonso hitting 250 in these situations this year. Be hit number 3 for the Indians off Cashner. Deep in right field. That's why Santander had so far to go. He's very deep with these left-handed batters in this lineup, including Alonso. 1-0 pitch to him, and then it'll be foul back.
Yeah, and he's testing probably more than he wants. How many times he can get out of runner in scoring position numbers. The error put 2 guys in. They were 0 for 2 last inning. Another chance for the Indians.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Alonso, that runner off second base, and that's going to be in there on the corner for a strike.
Yeah, a lot of movement. Anytime you have a good location inside corner, 94 with good run, a little bit tougher to hit. Mercedes pitch count right there at 57.
Cashner with a long look back. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Just misses away. Historically, the home plate umpire we got today, John Tampany, has had pretty good strike zone that's by the book. If anything, it may favor the hitters a bit, but in this game, he's given some calls to the pitchers on a couple. 2-ball, 2-strike count with 1 down. Cashner hopes for the benefit of the doubt. Runner off second, 2-2 delivery, and that's low and blocked again. So he will work on a full count here. Alonso, of course, putting one out onto Utah Street. 54th opponent to hit one against the Orioles. Last one the Orioles got was Pedro Alvarez, 2016.
What, 94 total?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 55 by the op and 40 by the Orioles.
3-2 delivery off the plate.
A lot of good pitches. But the other side of that coin is that Alonso, I mean, that's a pitcher's pitch. Change up, fading away, down and away, but able to somehow foul it off. Well,
Holds the count 3-2.
Yeah, it takes the place of Carlos Santana, went to Phillies as a free agent with 23 home runs. So
full count delivery again. That one ripped. That'll take care of that over and runners in scoring position. That is off the wall. Santander's got a chance at second base. Here's the cannon arm. It's there. No, got cut off. A double and an RBI, and a lead for the Indians 2-1, and the first hit with a runner in scoring position against Cashner.
Yeah, I think Tim Beckham said, why did he cut it off? Because you might have had a chance to throw him out. So fouls off the good pitch, gets a 1 to hit, drills it off the wall, and great angle right here. Watch Santana. Let it go. I mean, it's going to be bang bang at second. You could see Beckham going, and this is again the inexperience factor of Sardinas, would scope out with the oblique injury. But you could see what kind of arm, and that's why they're keeping him around. You know, he has to be here at least, what, 44 to 45 days to fulfill the 90, well, the Rule 5. 90 days active, and last year he was on the DL, and then what, 45 to 46 days.
1 down, another runner at second base, and the pitch will be taken down low by Gomes. Base hit. So the home run by Ramirez tied it, and Alonso's RBI puts him on top. That's 11 runs batted in for Alonso. He leads the Indians in that department, and his second double of the year. Strike on the inside corner. Gomes continued his hit streak with a base hit. He's now hit in the last 8 ball games he's been in. Cashner still with only 1 away. No walks, 4 strikeouts for him. And it'll be fouled off the other way. Cleveland next to last with runners in scoring position, and the White Sox off to a terrible start. They are dead last. Their average is 182 with runners in scoring position so far this year. 1-2 delivery on the way. 2-ball, 2-strike count. One of the things that's happened here in the month of April, they say you can't win a pennant, but you can lose one in the first month. Teams in trouble. The Orioles are one of them, 6-15. Kansas City's 4-15. The White Sox are 4-13. Miami's 5-15. Cincinnati's 3-17.
Well, they got their man, Brian Price, their manager, gone. The Rangers are 7-15. Yeah, so you're thinking, okay, we got to get to 500, and then we think wild card.
Yep. Start talking wild card on April 22nd, but it's true.
Yeah.
And part of that, obviously, in the East is just the Red Sox with that unbelievable start. He's burying teams in the East. The Red Sox are 8-1 at home, and they are 11-2 against the East already. 3-ball, 2-strike count. Yan Gomes waiting on it. That inside out swing foul.
Well, that's how he got the single to center, and you know, it's nice. Yesterday we saw him 2-0. He got a pitch to hit at 86, so he pulled it. You know, now 3-2. You got a chance to give your Cy Young Award winner from last year another run, lead at well, either 3-1 or 4-1 unless you hit one out of here. Those are big runs when you have somebody like Kluber on the mound.
Comes in with an ERA of 2.25. Now he turns it the other way. So fouling him off all over the ballpark, Yan Gomes.
Then Gary, when you're pitching and you watch yesterday's game and you go, okay, it's 2-0, but now you're on the mound if you're Andrew Cashner and you're seeing, okay, down and away, missed with a slider, didn't even start to swing. He's seeing the ball well. He's a tough out. So you better make a pitch or he's going to hit the ball hard somewhere.
Pitch count going up on Andrew Cashner. He's had 5 3-2 counts in the game. And this one's going to continue.
Yeah, even there, that's a changeup. Doesn't throw too many changeups to righties, but he stayed back. He's not jumping, and that makes it a little bit tougher to get a guy out on his front foot.
So Gomes will get the 9th pitch of this at bat. He backs out just to take a break and rejuvenate. Gomes during the hit streak now 8 for 25, and he launches one to left field. The warning track hauled in. Gentry going back to get it. Runner will go back to second base. Long out. Gomes retired. Good battle right there between pitcher hitter. That will leave the runner Alonso at second base. And that'll bring Naquin to the plate. He reached on an error his first time up. And Naquin with a very nice average at 270. Looking for a 2-out RBI. Naquin out of Spring, Texas. Last year, most of the time he spent AAA ball. 19 games with the Indians. Year before that, he had 116 games with the Indians. He is out of Texas A&M University, where he was a very good college baseball player, as you might expect.
Oh, he's really good 2 years ago. He had almost 300 with 14 home runs, and that gives you an idea how good the Indians were. Those young hitters still, from an experience standpoint, tells me you can kind of mess with them. And you just see change up. Try to stay away from the fastball. If you throw it out of the middle of the plate. Take your chances.
Naquin in his young career 5 for 18 against the Orioles, and all the games he's played against the O's have been here. Over the top, and he will go down swinging. But a couple of runs in, they take the lead. M&T Bank due up. Alvarez, Machado, and Jones.
I guess the job done in the major way. Yup, this one is a home run. We in the major leagues. I guess the job done in the major way. Yup, this one is a home run. It's my time to shine. Waiting all night. They get you strong, but you do it just right. Just right. I look through the flex, could be a double now. I'm doing what I do. It's how I play. Got paid.
On this Earth Day here at the ballpark, Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer. This is the third of 4 to be played against the Indians. Another one tomorrow night. Indians have the 2-1 lead. Alvarez goes after the first pitch from Kluber. Wind will blow it a little bit. And Brantley will come on and settle underneath it and put it away. Alvarez retired.
Well, 14, a little bit under 15 pitches per inning in those 29 starts last year. This year he's under 13. You can see why. Throws a lot of strikes, commands it, and then you got an aggressive swinging club like the Orioles. They strike out a lot and they don't walk a whole lot, even though they've walked a little bit more than normal this year.
Orioles talking about it before the game today regarding Kluber, that look for the first pitch to hit. He gets ahead of you so often that if that first pitch is something you can go after it. And the Orioles are doing that, but so far not successfully, except for Manny. Home run number 7, first inning. 10-game hit streak now for Machado. And the pitch will be taken inside for a ball.
We'll take a look again. 2-0, and he just belts it. It's gone right off the bat.
1-0 delivery on the way. In the air, left center field. He got another one that is way back at the wall. Into the bullpen. Goodbye, home run. 2 at bats, 2 homers, and a 2-2 game. He loves hitting against the Cleveland Indians, even Corey Kluber. Orioles on top, and our Maryland lottery contestant, Isaac T. Congratulations, another 500. So Manny's got 8 on the year, tied with Mike Trout for the lead in home runs in the American League. Adam Jones grounded out his first time up. Kluber's delivery is there.
Well, he came in 3 for 13, so now he's 5 for 15 and hit a home run, had an RBI. Now he's got three RBIs.
Wow. 0-1 delivery on the way, inside out foul.
Now, not a lot of good pitches to hit, but this slider in the middle of the plate, and this is what Manny does.
So the Orioles come back, tie it up. They've only had 2 hits. They both have been off Manny's bat, and obviously both have been home runs. It's his 3rd multi-home run game of the year. 3 already. He has 17 in his career, and Manny came in with no home runs off Kluber, and he was 3 for 13 against him. There's the baseball with a dent in it. First 2 home runs off Kluber for Manny. 1-2. Misses outside with it. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, 2 on Thursday, 1 on Friday, 2 here. I would think everybody in the Oriole bullpen would just get their gloves ready every time he comes to the plate.
I would think opposing pitchers would walk him.
Well, that is an option.
2-2 delivery on the way, and a little looper that should fall in for a base hit. That'll be fair. Adam will make the turn, head to second base. Naquin's throw will be cut off, and Jones has got a double.
Well, we've seen him do it over, 11th year with the Orioles. You make a good pitch, and this was a good pitch. Slider down and away, and if you roll over, try to swing too hard, but watch him cover the outside part of the plate. So there's the slurve slider, just slices it down the line, and Naquin, playing percentage baseball, so he's at right center. He's got a good arm, but plays in front of easy double.
6th double of the year picked up by Adam Jones. He's one behind the doubles leader, who is Manny, on the Orioles. He's got 7. Here's Chris Davis. RBI chance for Chris. Runner on at second, 1 down. Adam will take a look. Kipnis, second baseman, trying to hold him a little bit close. Chris will take it outside for a ball. He grounded out his first time up.
Yeah, he cut that fastball right in on his fist. So until you get to 2 strikes, you cannot look for the whole play. That's why it's so hard to hit with 2 strikes. So if you're looking in, fine. Get the bat head out. If you're looking away, take it the other way.
1-0 delivery, heat upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Manny Machado red hot, taking advantage, coming back home after having started his streak on the road. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Orioles here in the series, 1 hit, 8 at bats, with runners in scoring position. 10th in the league in that department as a team, hitting .236. Jonathan Scope on the right, longing to get back, but not near yet. 1-2 delivery on the way. Davis will pop it up down the third base side and out of play.
I talked about Kluber's 265 strikeouts last year and a little over 200 innings. What Feller hit, Bob Feller, Rapid Robert, Hall of Famer, 348, and then sudden Sam McDowell, 325, 204, 283, 269. Big strikeout left-hander.
1 ball, 2 strike count on Davis. Kluber's pitch. Chris has done a good job in these situations for the Orioles. He's gone 4 for 12 with a home run. Much better average with runners in scoring position than his 157 overall average. Scott Coolbaugh working with him, as with all of the Oriole hitters. Take that ball up the middle or the other way if that's what they give you. 2-2 reached. Got a shot, base hit, making the turn. Adam Jones, he'll score. And an RBI for Chris Davis and a lead for the Orioles, 3-2.
Yeah, Kluber throws him a changeup and he hits it with one hand, but he's so strong and he gets it between the shift. So I mean, there's the changeup. It's outside and he just rolls over. But again, the strength factor, exit velocity, didn't hit it as soft as Kluber wanted to him after the slider down in a way that Davis hit down the right field line, and that's how you have to hit Corey Kluber.
6 RBIs for Chris on the year, and the Orioles go back on top. They had a 1-0 lead. They trailed 2-1. Now they're up by 1. Tim Beckham flying out his first time up. Each team with 4 hits. Kluber's delivery, slider.
And if you're sitting at home, you go, why does he swing at it? If you ever been up to home plate, the good sliders, you just don't see the spin. And of course, the minute you start looking out away, that's when he runs the ball in on your fist. And look at that, 18 consecutive starts, 3 runs or less. 16, excuse me. Going all the way back to when we told you against the White Sox last year.
It's the most runs he's given up this year. He's given up no more than 2 prior to this game. 2 against Seattle, 2 against the Angels, none against Detroit, and 1 against Minnesota. But he has given up 3 in this one. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Kluber's delivery over the top on the fist, foul back. Kluber has been, I mean, all the numbers we've given you so incredibly good. The batting average against him since the start of 2016, 201. I mean, that's phenomenal.
It is. And San Diego gave him up. We saw Bauer. He started the #1 draft choice with Arizona. He ended up in Cleveland. Clevenger, who pitched a shutout yesterday, Vinny Pestano for him. He came out of the Angels organization. You're going to see Carlos Carrasco, who throws a lot harder than Kluber, and he's got terrific stuff. Won 18 games along with Corey last year for the Indians. He came from the Phils. Only Josh Tomlin was a guy that they developed through their minor league.
It'll be Carrasco against Kevin Gausman tomorrow night. Down to third base, right off the fists again. Second, 1 relay. He'll turn the double play. Ramirez, Kipnis, and Alonso. Orioles get a couple of runs, though. An RBI by Davis and an RBI on the second home run of the ball game for Manny Machado. Our Sunday columns on this Earth Day Sunday. The White Sox are ditching straws this season, part of the Shed Aquarium's Shed the Straw initiative. First Major League Baseball team to serve drinks without use of the plastic straws. Colleen Kane, Chicago Tribune. Hundreds of thousands of those get used every day.
Yeah, like the plastic bags, a lot of California, a lot of people doing that. Bring your own bag.
I was thinking of that today driving into work here. There were more plastic bags on trees than leaves.
Yeah.
Everywhere. 1-0 count. Orioles up by a score of 3-2. Cashner inside to Davis, garnering his attention. Davis has sacrificed his first time up on a real good bunt. Inserted into the lineup late. Cashner hasn't walked anybody. He struck out 5. Kluber, no walks, has struck out 1. Top half of the 5th inning in game 3. 2-0 delivery on the way, and that one's up high. Started to go around, held the bat back.
Well, like I said, 398 lifetime stolen bases.
And he walked him on 4. The ever dangerous leadoff walk.
Well, especially to him.
Ooh. So leadoff man on. Savor the flavors of Sarasota, Florida, from fresh seafood to world-class cuisine. Visit savorsarasota.com. First walk surrendered. Manny hoping the couple of home runs he's picked up will hold up for a lead, obviously wanting to add more. Now you got a real speedster over there at first base. They've not stolen a base against Cashner this year. 0 for 2. What a lead he's got, though. Whoa. Doesn't go, and a strike taken. Lindor has flied out to right field twice.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Earl Weaver talking about this one day where you hold runners, and he's got a huge lead, but with Lindor, a left-handed hitter, sometimes you won't run till there's one out because you want to keep that hole into right field open. You get that first and third, then it's almost an automatic run.
Davis 4 for 5. I'll try and move him back a half a step or lean a little bit.
And the other factor is you try to, when you do your sides work and in spring training, your slide steps, throw over, try to get the ball quickly to Caleb Joseph, your catcher. But Lindor's a home run hitter, 22 of them from this side of the plate last year.
0-1 the count. Lindor gets away. Run is going to advance and may go to third. He makes the big turn. He'll challenge Caleb to get that ball. And a wild pitch, and for Cashner, that is the first of the year.
Well, take a look where it bounces. I mean, it's so far out in front of home plate, and trying to slide over, get the body in.
So Cleveland comes right back, putting the potential tying run on at second base with nobody out. Indians have gone 1 for 5 today in these situations, as again they start piling up the chances. 1 for 10 in the first game, 0 for 6 yesterday. 1-1 goes after the high pitch, foul tipped it into the mitt. 1-2.
Well, they keep saying, I mean, when you talk to them or you read all the papers, they're talking about, okay, we like our offense, and why wouldn't they? I mean, they scored 818 runs, one of the 4 teams in the American League that scored over 800 runs.
Lindor's had both of his home runs from this side of the plate this year. And he will step out here with a 1-2 strike count. Nobody out. Manny's working behind Davis, Rajah Davis, the runner. See how close he is, trying to, 1, keep that lead down, and 2, they've got a partial shift on in any event against Lindor. 1-2. Cashner slowing the pace down. In the dirt again, blocked.
Yeah, ideally he'd like to get him in or get him over with nobody out and trailing by a run. It kind of be interesting to me to see what the numbers will be. 33 home runs, go from like 15, 16 home runs to 33. Is that just because you had good at bats, or the ball was more lively, or the fact it was just an aberrational year? So
2-2 delivery on the way to him, and that's going to be a base hit. Right center field. That'll get a run in. Davis makes the turn. Throw will come into second base. Lindor's got an RBI, and a ball game where no one can hang on to a lead early. It is 3-3.
But that kind of answers the question, Gary, because he didn't try to overswing there. He just smooth swing. You know, the great luxury of being one of the more talented players in baseball, and he doesn't overswing. He just follows it because it's not a bad pitch. It's away. He didn't try to pull it. We're going to tie it up with and then he becomes, with his ability to steal bases, a potential double.
8 RBIs for Lindor on the season. That leadoff walk again costly. And the pitch will be away. Kipnis has struck out, flied out. 5 hits now for the Indians. 3 runs, 5 hits. Orioles 3 runs, 4 hits.
And it's been an arduous 84 pitches for Cashner, even though the stuff's been pretty good velocity wise.
That one tic-tac to right. Santander's right there, runner halfway.
Yeah, they made him work. They've had some nice at bats.
But 5-3-2 counts in the ball game. So Cashner will get the new baseball, and the 31-year-old right-hander will try and get a ground ball here and get out of the inning. Ramirez coming up, not an easy one to do that against. Home run yesterday, home run today. 1 for 2, struck out the other time he came to the plate. 1 down, runner at first. Beckham in at third base. Pitch in the dirt again, and a good stop made by Caleb Joseph. Hangs on to that runner at first base. Well, Ramirez did not have a home run against the Orioles until yesterday, and now he's got 2 in his career. Another breaking ball down low that Caleb has to box.
Well, you talked about the fact that coming in lefties were 300 and 6 in the lineup today, 7 on Friday night. Yeah. When you had but he's so a lot of changeups, a lot of curveballs, a lot of deep counts. Just can't go with the hard stuff, and when you do, Ramirez hit one of them out of the ballpark. Yeah.
He's had 5 home runs now in his last 10 games. Ramirez has. As we said, Cashner has given up 6. 3-0 count. Ramirez with Brantley to follow, and that's not close. So the second walk surrendered. Both have come this inning. We'll put runners on at first and second base with 1 out.
Yeah, you get a veteran pitcher and you'd say, okay, we get you a lead 3-2 as Roger McDowell's going to come out and maybe he sees something. What are you going to do when you get that 3-2 lead? Well, you're going to go, I'm not going to walk the first guy. Well, he did. He didn't mean to, but it happened to be Raji Davis. And then you got to worry about his ability to steal bases. You wild pitch him to second. And Lindor puts a quality at bat because that's the kind of hitter he is. And then you walk Ramirez and you're in trouble. And the pitch counts keeps mounting. You're 1 pitch away from 90 and you're not even through the 5th inning.
And Castro will get up in the bullpen. First warm-up action we've had for the Orioles.
It's almost one of those afternoons, Gary, where it's almost as much the Indians as it is Cashner, because they've had some quality at bats, and they, you know, you look at all the numbers, you see that number right there. They're aware of that. So let's get the pitch count up. You know, 3rd time through the order, the numbers go up dramatically, and let's see how it all shakes out with Kluber on the mound, even though he's given up 3 runs already.
And Brantley's had the numbers overall and in these situations, hitting .417 with runners in scoring position. And he's going to get another one. Base hit into left field. Lindor will be coming to the plate. Throw is not in time. Throw down to second off the mark, but it'll be hauled in as Ramirez has made the turn at second base. So an RBI base hit for Brantley, and Cleveland goes on top 4-3.
Well, this is what he does. I mean, you can see inside out. Didn't overswing. You know, hits a crisp line drive. Nice play by Gentry because he gets it right to Caleb, and but Lindor with great speed, they gives the Indians the 4-3 lead.
So each team battles back after the other has scored. And Brantley does so right there, putting runners on at first and second again with only one down. Brantley picking up the RBI. That's number 8 for Brantley on the year. That extends his hit streak to 7 games. Cashner's delivery, and that'll be fouled back. They're taking some big rips. Encarnacion on that one. His double came in the 4th inning, and he scored on the Alonso double. Cashner retired the first 6 that he faced, then got out of a jam in the 3rd inning when the first 2 got on and they did not score. Runners off first and second base, and fouled off. Encarnacion going after one inside, and the count's 0-2. Encarnacion, all those games he played, of course, with the Blue Jays, a lot of games against the Orioles. 36 home runs, 17 of them here at Camden Yards. Pickoff play.
Well, you got Batista in that lineup, and then you had Donaldson after the trade from Oakland over there, and then you had him and Smoke, who had 38 home runs. He was not the hitter he was last year when he was in that lineup. So they had 3 guys that could just pound the ball.
0-2. Trying to hold that runner close at second base. Big swing over the top.
Yeah, that's the one pitch. Until then, it's kind of eluded him, which is the slider, cutter, whatever you want to call it. But this is how they've got Edwin out all series, and that ball goes straight down. A little bit of a Bundy slider.
6 strikeouts for Andrew Cashner. More importantly, in this inning, it's 2 down. 2 down. First and second, Ramirez and Brantley. Alonso's had an RBI double. A couple of RBIs in the 3 games against the Orioles. And inside, a little dance music on that one, and a 1-0 count. 4 runs, 6 hits for the Indians, 3 runs, 4 hits for the Orioles. Indians have left 3 on so far. The Orioles have not left a base runner. Cashner's 1-0 delivery to him down low. A lot of boxing going on behind the plate for Caleb Joseph.
Yeah, it's been a tough afternoon in that sense. You want to finish your pitches, you want to throw them in the dirt.
Cashner's 5th start of the year. 3.0 ERA coming in. Long lean in on the sign here. 2-0. Alonso ground ball, broken bat, backhanded Davis. Gets over to cover, and they get the out. But a couple of runs in as they do it on a couple of walks and 2 hits.
Machado with his 7th home run off of Corey Kluber. Orioles take a 1-0 lead. And then later on, after the Indians are ahead 2-1, another home run slider to deep left center field, home run number 8. Jones with double, and then Chris Davis through the shifted defense of the Indians. The Orioles take a short live 3-2 lead. And those are your Geico highlights. 15 minutes. Geico could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save.
Back and forth we go. Both teams picking up some runs in this ball game. Both teams having leads and both having surrendered them. Santander will lead it off. Flied out. 0 for 7 in the series against the Indians for Anthony Santander. Shift on against him, and the pitch will be up and away. Kluber hasn't walked anybody. He's given up only 6 walks this year in the 35 innings that he's worked, and he has struck out 34. Only 1 strikeout so far in this ball game. Gentry in the 3rd. Got underneath that one, popped it up to shallow center. I'm not sure Davis saw that right away. With his speed, gets over there and puts it away anyway. You can join the Orioles and Autism Speaks as we raise awareness for autism this Thursday, April 26th. Discounted Upper Reserve tickets are available with $5 of every ticket sold, benefiting Autism Speaks. Support Autism Speaks at Orioles.com/autism. Coming up Thursday. 1 down. Caleb Joseph coming up. Caleb flied out his first time up. And as has happened in this series, down to 3rd. Oh, what a stop, Ramirez. What a pick at first, Alonso. Both ends of that one on the corners getting out.
Well, the amazing thing is we told you about Ramirez. Not only did he get 3 hits yesterday, but look how quickly he gets to this. So again, you don't get to see him all the time. You're going, well, if you just look at his limited amount of work, he's terrific down at 3rd. Not only that, he can hit. And then look at the arm. I mean, nice play by Alonso over there, but strong arm, quickness. Maybe this is why they won 102 games last year. He's not only great offensively, but defensively.
Zardinas up. Pitches are a strike. I was going to say, as we've had in this series and in a number of games this year, the Orioles are getting just their 2nd at bats here in the 5th inning. The Indians have already mostly had 3 at bats already. Same number of innings.
Well, it was interesting to listen to Mike Clevenger after he pitched his first shutout yesterday, and he said, listen, I looked at the scoreboard. I saw 60 pitches after 3 innings, and he said, got to make an adjustment, and he did.
Yep.
107, I think, for a complete game.
Talk about being eaten up by a pitch.
And then he said, listen, metaphorically speaking, I don't know what that means, but what he said was, if Kluber's a 90, if you're taking a test, he's the 90. If you're getting a 60, just by watching him, you're going to bring that
up to a 75.
Up to, or maybe an 80. I think he used 80.
That ball hit on the button to center and right at Davis. And this is what we were talking about, these quick innings. Corey Kluber able to get done 12 to 15 pitches per inning. She's worked for the Chesapeake Bay Foundation since 2010, helping to grow tens of thousands of oysters in the project in the Inner Harbor. She worked with them on the restoration efforts, community education, and advocacy work. And on behalf of Carmera Thomas, the Orioles Charitable Foundation, donating $2,500 to the Chesapeake Bay Foundation. Congratulations. And you can also contribute. To donate, that's where you go, Orioles.com/heroes.
Yeah, one of Maryland's great state treasures, the Chesapeake Bay.
And foul back on a lot of restoration projects, both fishing wise, just clean water wise going on. Andrew Kashner working here with the Indians on top by 1. He's thrown 13 out of 25 first pitch strikes. Kluber's 10 out of 18. Trying to get ahead of hitters. Up the middle. Oh my gosh. We saw one of those in Dylan Bundy's start in game 1. Went right by his head, and there's another one.
Yeah, rocket. I mean, it almost got Dylan. So we told you about it. Gomes swinging the bat real well. He's using the whole field, and you never want to hit anybody, but this ball, throw it and duck. And Andrew's about 6'5". But right there, he sees it, and luckily it's over his head.
So Gomes with a couple of hits, 2 for 3. Leadoff single. Kashner coming in, retired, only 54% of leadoff batters. Not where he'd like to be. That will be fouled away. The Indians have had the leadoff man on in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th innings of this game. For a pitcher, that's living dangerously.
It's also one of the reasons he's trailing by a run.
A leadoff walk.
Yeah.
0-1 count. Little chopper foul. Naquin has reached on an error and has struck out. Davis, Raja Davis waiting on deck. Top half of the 6th inning. Gomes on at first. First multi-hit game he's had this year.
Yeah, because everything changes when the first runner gets on. I mean, your infielders can move in a little bit because of the double play. If you're a left-handed hitter, you have the hole into right field.
Down to first, Davis. 1. Manny waiting for help. And not in time on the throwback to Kashner.
And Aquin runs real well. Nice pitch, change up, and let your defense work. So he'll go get it and then cuts the angle by taking a step to his left. Bang, bang. And again, this is the speed factor.
Orioles taking a look at it. Not going to challenge.
Very close.
So a fielder's choice. Naquin's on at first base with 1 down. Here's Davis. He drew that leadoff walk in the 5th and scored. Lindor picked up the RBI in the inning. Ramirez has had a home run. Alonso's had an RBI double in the ball game, and Brantley's had an RBI base hit. Those are the runs for the Indians. Manny Machado with 2 home runs for the Orioles, and Chris Davis with an RBI single. Manny has gone 2 for 2. Runner on at first, 1 out. Pretty good lead over there and back to the bag. Naquin back on his belly. Beckham will play even with the bag at 3rd. Raja Davis's speed. 1-0 delivery. Chops it, hits himself in the side. 1 ball, 1 strikeout. Looking at challenges today for the first month of the year. Hasn't changed much from last year. Calls overturned at 52% so far. About the same number we ended up with last year. Fouled off down the right field line this time.
Seems like a high number. Not that it wasn't high last year. It just kind of tells you how difficult it is to umpire.
Yeah, on close plays.
Yeah, I mean, it's bang, bang. You ever umpire in Little League?
Oh, yeah.
I just alternated. Safe, out, safe, because they were all ties.
You alternated.
Yeah, I mean, I never could tell.
New rule
I mean, these
for
guys,
umpires.
obviously, they go to school, they go through the minors. They're
Be like the possession clock in the NBA. That'll go to right center field. Adam Jones will come over and put it away. Davis retired. Orioles baseball on Masson brought to you by American Standard. Find your local independent American Standard heating and air dealer at midatlanticcomfort.com.
well, I got
See, there's a rule change that would save everything. Do away with the challenges, so we don't have to watch video or wait. And the umpires are just one call out, one call safe.
I don't think they'd like that.
You don't think they like that? No.
But that's the way it's coming out. I mean,
Well, just on challenges.
on challenges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are a lot of close plays the umpires get right and they're not challenged.
Right.
Davis able to handle a throw over back to the bag. Naquin again. Lindor at the plate. RBI base hit, 5th inning, and he scored. He's 1 for 3. A couple of hits and 11 at bats in this series. 7 hits now for the Indians, 4 for the Orioles. Naquin's extended his lead about a half a step. Runner not going. Ball looped in the air, left field. This will be a long run. Gentry coming. It's going to fall in, base hit.
Yeah, see, that's how a veteran plays it. You know, he tries to get a good a read on the ball, and Craig Gentry can play the outfield. But he's playing deep enough with 2 outs. You don't want a ball up the gap or it's going to score. So right here, right about now, he realized I can't catch it. Watch him stop. So he doesn't play it into a double.
Gentry out there with Trey Mancini. Continuing out with that gash he had on his knee on that sliding attempt in left the other night. So runners on at first and second, 2 down. Here's Kipnis, 0 for 3. Take it up high for a ball. 107 pitches. That's a high, season high for Cashner in this his 5th start.
Yeah, he left 3-2 in Detroit with 93 pitches. Didn't want to come out. There's that 2-seamer that runs back.
Castro's been ready in the bullpen.
Very much so.
Indians 3 for 9 today in these situations after just 1 for 16 in the first 2 games. Ground ball down to first, foul. The Kipnis keeping his at-bat alive. Cashner trying to get him out of there and end the inning. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Kipnis after his first home run, 4 doubles, the extra base hits he's picked up so far this year. Slow start, 181 coming into the game. 1-2 delivery to him. Loop foul the other way. We said neither of these teams' offenses have been very strong. The Orioles come in hitting .216. The Indians .211. Both these managers had to fight to get runs as the Indians been able to get just enough to win games because of their great pitching, outscoring opponents by 10 runs coming in.
Yeah, 13th in runs, but 2nd in pitching.
Yeah. 1-2 delivery on the way, same result.
Yeah, the Orioles 14th in runs and 13th in pitching. So that's. And then who you play and when you play them and whatever. I mean, how about the Tampa? They've won 6 out of the last 11 after starting with the Red Sox and whatever. I think they started out 1-8, so they played a little bit better. They will come to town on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
And as always, Tampa Bay has the pitching that can win some games for
Well,
them.
we saw, you know, I was watching a little bit of the game last night. Blake Snell pitched for them, and of course, you know, he's one of their phenoms coming through the minor leagues. So he's in maybe what his 2nd full year and pitching very well, already 3-1. Very much like Dylan Bundy for the Orioles.
And went after Heat and didn't get it. Slams the bat down. Couldn't get it done. Couple left on base. It remains a 1-run game. Castor having a long discussion with the skipper between innings. Let's see whether or not he is done for the day or is going to be coming back out. Buck really didn't give any indication there.
I would think the pitch count would get him, but
yeah.
Of course, if you know Andrew Castor, he doesn't want to leave.
New chance to win a ball game if he can hang around. Bunted. Kluber sidearm got him. Nice play.
Yeah, it was nice.
Real good bunt.
Yeah, because if you backhanded, you might be able to get on, and of course.
Gentry laid down a good one.
But look at him snare it with his pitching hand. You know, picks it off his right foot. You learn that in all the pitchers fielding practices you do. So watch right foot, catch it. Yeah, that's the key right there. He bobbles it at all. It's a base hit or an error, whatever they want to score. But Gentry would have gotten on first with the potential tying run.
Here's Pedro Alvarez. He has popped out, flied out, 0 for 10 against the Indians. Shift on against him. Kluber's delivered in their first strike. And again, Kluber able to get the first out, first pitch.
Well, that's why I think his pitch count now is what, 64.
Wow.
Yeah. 40 strikes, 24 balls.
0-1 delivery on the way. Breaking ball.
Now you look at his home run numbers. Doesn't throw a lot of home runs. I mean, 14.5 pitches for his career. And then if you look at his career, he gives up 0.84 home runs per 9 innings. Exceptionally low. That's why the 2 home runs by Manny.
Yeah.
Not if you've been watching Manny, that's not surprising, but just surprising the fact he hit him off of Corey Kluber. Doesn't give up a whole lot of them.
2 ball, 1 strike count on Alvarez with Manny waiting on deck. Down the line, hit deep, curving, foul.
Yeah, just a little movement on it because instead of throwing a fastball and a fastball counted 2-1, he cuts it. And that little movement, as long as you stay on top of it, the ball still has. It doesn't linger in the zone very long.
32-year-old, 9th year with the Cleveland organization. Cy Young Award winner last year and once before that.
Yeah, 2014.
Cashner's still over there talking to Gosman. 2 ball, 2 strike count. And had one to drive but couldn't time it. Foul that one back.
Well, this whole series, what they've tried to do with Pedro, Bauer with changeups and curveballs, and yesterday even Clevenger doesn't have the experience, trying to stay away from the fastball and fastball counts, and they've been able to do it so far.
Two delivery on the way to him. Ground ball up the middle, off the back of the mound, maybe his foot. This play made to get the out as they had the shift on Ramirez, third baseman, playing the shortstop spot. I don't know if that hit Cashner's foot or not.
I mean, is that a little kick save, a little hockey thing there?
He
looked
tried.
like he stuck his foot out. Everybody comes out to see how he's doing. Maybe they're checking the ball, so let's see if he does get it. Yeah, I think it just hit his back of his leg, his right leg. And otherwise, that might have been a base hit. You can see Lindor up the middle already.
So give him a 1-5-3 on that one. And there are 2 down. Here's Manny. 2 home runs.
What did you say? I don't know why he didn't walk him. He might be thinking about it here. I mean, either make your pitches. He's gotten behind them both times, once with a fastball and then a hanging slider the last time. So watch where Gomes goes, right on the corner.
And he didn't get it there.
Hangs another. And instead of the slider, I think it was a cutter. And Manny had a pitch to hit here.
And he wanted that one.
Yeah. But see, the difference between the curveball and the cutter is about 5 miles per hour. So when you throw it up, you still throw it. So it's hard to get on top of it. Slider a little bit easier because of the speed of the ball.
Home runs number 7 and 8 for Manny in this ball game. 0-1 delivery. That last swing, he felt something in his shoulder. Not that one, the one before. He walked away. He was trying to loosen up, and he's doing it again on this one.
Yeah, and he went right up the ladder at 94. That's the most velocity we've seen from Corey Kluber.
0-2 delivery on the way, and another base hit into left field. Tried to go down on the wing. Kluber's reaction is, oh man, just kind of put his head down and like, I can't get him out.
Yeah. Well, at least he kept him in the ballpark, and then of course Manny, he comes out of the box like you're supposed to, which is this is going to be a potential double. We're down by a run. There's your slider right on the end of the bat. He hooks it because he's so strong, and then watch him go. I mean, right here he's thinking double. He's certainly capable of doing this, and he's thinking if you don't come up with it cleanly, I'm going to be at second. The ideal way to run the bases.
Brantley able to get it in and hold him to a single. 3-for-3 day for Manny. So he's had 5 hits in 9 at bats, 3 home runs in this series against Cleveland. 2 down. Here's Adam Jones. A double and a ground ball out. Adam takes the pitch in there for a strike. The Orioles get the potential tying run on again. Manny now leading Major League Baseball with the multi-home run games, 3 of them. 8 home runs, and they're all solo. A 1 delivery by Kluber, a ground ball, force at second, and that's where Lindor will go to Kipnis. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. Indians up by a run.
Trying to get the Orioles a win here at home against the Indians. So some strikeouts early. Again, would have 6 of them. Ramirez goes down, Encarnacion goes down, Alonso, Naquin, you name them. And his final out to get out of trouble, but he trails 4-3, was Jason Kipnis. So there they are, 6 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs. 112 pitches, and now your Jiffy Lube pitching change, just like Jiffy Lube signature service oil change, in and out fast, and you never need an appointment. Miguel Castro coming on. Last pitch in Detroit, a 1/3 of an inning. Though the walk's a little bit higher, you can see a lot of strikeouts per inning. It throws in the mid to upper 90s. Slider changeup, and the lefties hitting him a lot better than the righties.
So another good start. Andrew Cashner, not good enough yet, as the Indians do have the 4-3 lead. So Castro will go to work against Ramirez, shift on against him. He'll take the pitch for a strike. Ramirez, home run number 6 in the 4th inning, has drawn a walk. He has also struck out. Castro has a 1-0 mark lifetime against the Indians. 6th game he's pitched against Cleveland. And while he's got a 1-0 record, Indians have had 5 runs on 9 hits against him in 4 1/3 innings.
Well, for Miguel, it's pretty much just about throwing strikes and hoping they're quality, because there's a changeup. He can throw any pitch in any count. Still learning, obviously, when to do it and control him.
Ramirez 2 for 2 against the Oriole reliever.
But a great acquisition last year when the Orioles needed bullpen help.
1 delivery on the way, and that is a strike. Middle of the lineup against him here with Brantley, then Encarnacion coming up.
Well, he's totally unafraid. That's the one thing about Miguel. I mean, he'll throw any of his pitches. He got a good arm, in fact, a great arm.
And got him.
And so he can go, and we saw 98, we saw 93 right there. I mean, Ramirez can hit. He goes right up the ladder. And you don't really know what he's going to throw because for a 23-year-old righty, fearless. And there's that two-seamer that just runs away from the bat hit. Great velocity, great location.
That'll bring Brantley to the plate. Base hit, RBI, 7-game hit streak, 1 for 3 in the ball game, and 4 for 11 in this series. He's had a couple of RBIs. Castro's delivery will be taken up end away. A tight ball game, and the Indians have played a number of those. They are 3-5 in 1-run ball games. Orioles 2-3. Check swing in the inside corner for a strike. That tied him up. Not going to get the barrel on that pitch. And a 1-ball 1-strike count. Brantley off to a thriving start for these Cleveland Indians. 1-1 delivery on the way. And that one is going to miss just a little bit outside.
Yeah, for Michael Brantley, it's just a matter. We talked about well, he's had shoulder problems, but it was the ankle this spring. He's only 30. If he stays healthy, he's a superior player.
2-1, got a round on it, but fouled that one off. So Brantley, a 2-ball 2-strike count. Cashner sitting down next to the skipper here, talk a little bit about his start and hang on and hope the Orioles can no decision him and come away with a win. 2-ball 2-strike count. Brantley will foul off another one. Brantley loves this ballpark. If you take a look at the numbers, came in hitting .325 here at Camden Yards with the 1 home run. This will be the 22nd career game he's played here in Baltimore. 2-ball 2-strike count. Wind breeze picking up a little bit, blowing in. Brantley went after one and somehow got the end of the bat on it. Even he.
Well, it's the approach, Gary. I mean, he just goes and covers the outside corner. He's only had one, what you would call truly home run year, because that was before the ball became a little bit more lively, and it's when he hit 20 home runs in 2014. Other than that, just a lot of doubles. The ability to hit home runs, but they just happen.
2-2 delivery on the way, and Brantley will get a base hit on that one. That'll roll all the way to the wall. He'll make the turn. Santander up. He decides to go. Santander, they'll let this throw come through, but it'll not be there in time, and Brantley's got his second hit, a 2-bagger.
And they keep throwing him breaking balls, and you do him a favor. Watch this. Ends up in the middle of the plate, just quickens up the bat, and all of a sudden maybe a line drive to right field goes down the line, and that's when you get the extra base hits. So they've had a nice day hitting extra base hits. Couple doubles back in the 4th. The home run by Ramirez, now a double by Brantley.
So he's had multi-hit games in 6 of the last 7 for Michael Brantley. Encarnacion at the plate. He'll go after one to right field. Second baseman Zadina's back. Runner will stay at the bag. Encarnacion retired. And there are 2 down. The big out recorded right there with the runner on to second base. Now Alonso will stand in. Alonso with a double and an RBI. He has struck out and grounded out. Indians again piling up chances. 3 for 12 with runners in scoring position. Yikes. 2 down here. And another pop up third base. Beckham in foul territory, puts it away. Castro works out of the problem. 7th inning stretch time. Our Ram do-ups. Davis, Beckham, and Santander. Oriole Park's lead gold certification. Each player coach wearing Earth Day jerseys and caps. You can go to Orioles.com/auctions to bid on these autographed, authenticated, game-worn items. Proceeds benefit the Chesapeake Bay Foundation. Bidding closes Sunday, April 29 at 8. Go to Orioles.com/auctions to bid. Earlier today, the lead gold certification award was presented to the Orioles and the Maryland Stadium Authority for the work that has been done here at the ballpark and the warehouse. And there's the gold certification for all the work. 200 recycling containers around the yard, over 850,000 pounds of materials recycled in 2017. Fortunately, recycling announcers is not included in what you got to do to get a gold certificate. Not yet, anyway.
No. Well, we know that the Orioles need to do to get a win. They're going to have to come up with some offense. And, 3 runs off Kluber's, things like you had a pretty good day, and you had. Manny had a couple of home runs. You got the nice slider down on the way that Jonesy hits down the right field line to get him in. But Cashner, I think what'll disturb him the most is a couple of walks that led into runs and things like that. He pitched pretty well, but again, he'll be telling everybody, and he probably told Buck, because we showed everybody,
that leadoff walk.
I need to be a little bit better than that. Yeah.
He gave him a good outing. I mean, the Orioles are getting some good starts from the pitchers
they're
in,
and they're going to get Mancini back, and they're going to get Trumbo back, and they're going to get Scope back, and so again, this offense will get better. And like Dan Duquette, who's the vice president of baseball operations, said, we're not having the cavalry charge come in. We're going to have to try to figure something out, and it's not easy to do, but hopefully maybe they'll be able to come up with some kind of solution.
It certainly helps when you got all the guys you are relying on available in the lineup, but every team has to go through that. That's part of the sports season. Chris Davis leading it off here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Davis, a base hit, RBI. He's grounded out. He's had 3 hits in 9 at-bats in the series. Corey Kluber is working away, 76 pitch, and it'll be there for a strike. So Kluber giving up the home runs to Manny, 2 solo shots and the RBI to Davis.
Yeah, look at that, 50 strikes, 26 balls. I mean, he can add a little bit. We've seen him get to 93, 94, but mostly it's 91, and just right there. I mean, a little slurve, a little bit of cut, a little bit of changeup. Great message for young pitchers. If you're a minor league pitcher or a young pitcher, it's not always about 94 or 95. It's not that he doesn't have a good arm, because he does, but it's about making your pitches, and you were talking about it, trying to get hitters out on their front foot, change the rhythm of what they're trying to do with the bat.
0-2 delivery on the way, and Davis will take it away. Chris's base hit, just the second he's ever had against Kluber. He is now 2 for 16 in his career against the Cleveland starter.
But he hit it with one hand, and it gives you an idea of how hard it is to get the really good balanced swings, and then also how strong Chris is.
1-2 delivery, working away, will miss down low. 2-ball, 2-strike count.
Yeah, I guess the question is, when's the last time Corey Kluber ever threw 3 home runs in one game? Because he's already thrown 2. He's got a 1-run lead. Man, he's hit both of them today.
Has not walked anybody. 2-2 delivery on the way, and Davis will go down on a foul tip cut, and that'll be strikeout number 2 for Kluber.
And then perfect pitch outside corner. Instead of maybe 2 seams, it's 4 seams. Right, but look where the glove is. Look where the ball is. It's kind of like Roger Clemens. Well, outside third of the plate.
A little different ball game in terms of the strikeouts. Kluber's a strikeout pitcher. The other games this year, he had 8, 6. 13 and 6 again in strikeouts. He's only had 2 here in this ball game, and as we said last year, 203 innings. He struck out 265.
Well, the one start against the Orioles, he struck out 11. 1 complete game, 3-hitter. They got him 12 runs. It's not the case today, so still very much into this game. Usually a ground ball pitcher. Maybe almost 2-1, but today not the case, and then he usually strikes out a lot of people.
0-1 count on Beckham. Beckham 0 for 2, and the slider strike at the top of the strike zone.
The very top.
Kluber's allowed 3 home runs 3 times in his career. What Jim was asking about. He's given up 2 in this one. 0-2 delivery, right-hander will get it up, and I guess he heard us talking about strikeouts.
Well, back-to-back strikeouts, both on fastballs. He gets the second strikes, maybe questionable, but it gets him to this count. And then he gets to pitch out of the strike zone. And when you command your stuff, you can do that. You know, the ability to throw strikes to get to where you don't have to.
So 2 down, nobody on here in the bottom of the 7th inning. That'll bring up Santander. Santander with a couple of fly ball outs. Orioles have struck out more than any other team in the American League. Other teams piling up the strikeouts. Texas, Rangers, a lot of them, and Houston. Houston, of course, a very aggressive team.
But last year they were the best. Of course, it's early, and so Anthony
back 2 strikes.
Santander comes out as a Rule 5 player last year from Cleveland, where he hit 290, 20 home runs, 95 RBI, signed at 16 out of Venezuela, $385,000. So very much the Indians going down into the international market, and then they lose him. Orioles pay $100,000, have to keep him a year in the big leagues.
0-2 delivery will be taken up high. Santander becoming the regular right fielder for the Orioles. Bit of a struggle here after a very good spring, hitting only 154 right now. That'll be away, 2-2.
And it will be interesting. Colby Rasmus, another one of the Orioles on the disabled list with a hip problem. How much he will play, if at all, or will he go back to the minor leagues and get some at bats at a higher level?
Probably have to.
Yeah.
2-2 delivery on the fist.
I mean, he looks like, again, it's hard to get hits. But again, against these guys, I mean, change-ups away, then fastballs up on your fist, in and out, you know, trying to speed you up, slow you down.
2-2 on Santander. Shift on against him. Outfield very deep. Kluber's pitch just fouled it off.
And that's pretty good bat control. That's a little cutter outside corner, trying to strike him out. You know, when you go to spring training, you might get a press guide if it's out yet, and you go, I mean, I still remember Buck Martinez. I looked at Earl Weaver. I said, what kind of hitter is he? I hit 5 home runs. The next thing you know, he hit a home run over the left center field fence. You don't do the same preparation in spring training as you do during the regular season. And
2-2 delivery on the way, and Santander off his foot. Santander batting from the left side. He's picked up the 1 home run that he has, hitting 179 left and 143.
He's having a great at bat. I mean, just to hang in there. Once again, once Kluber gets the 2 strikes, it's, you know, just try to make contact somewhere.
Two down, nobody on, 7th inning. Both teams have picked up leads in this ball game. The Indians have it currently by 1. 2-2 delivery. Santander hard and foul.
Yeah, nothing in the middle of the plate.
Tippy Martinez
There's Tippy
on to watch the ball game today.
One of the great left-handed relievers in my year for us. One of the great trades the Orioles made, along with Dempsey and Scotty McGregor, Rudy May coming over from the Yankees.
2-2 delivery by Kluber, and that one will be popped up, back and out of play. So quite an at bat here by Santander, the longest in pitches thrown. This will be the 10th coming up.
Well, it gets that pitch count up into the 90s. And you're only in the 7th, so we'll most likely see their bullpen, which is a good one.
Threw 104 in the last outing. Kluber did. That's his high for the year. 2-2. 10th pitch of this at bat coming. Santander's seen them all, and he'll take it full. Great job. 3-ball, 2-strike count. Santander trying to keep it alive. Caleb Joseph waiting in the on-deck circle. And And another foul ball. In, out, up, down, and he's ticked them all.
Oh, he is. I mean, that's a cutter underneath his fist, down by the knees. Look at that ball just cut in, and it keeps coming. Somehow he gets a part of it.
Left-handers 152 off Kluber. Right-handers 158 coming into the ball game. 3-2 delivery, and he got him. What a battle! So he hadn't struck out many. One. He strikes out the side here in the 7th. Our Sunday columns regarding the new manager, Alex Cora, counterintuitively believes a player in the middle of a hot streak can benefit from a seat on the bench. As bench coach of the Houston Astros last year, Cora saw that resting players such as Jose Altuve when they were hot helped extend those streaks. You're not going to be hot. You're going to be hot in 2 days. It's not like because you don't play today, all of a sudden you're going to lose it. I think physically it takes a toll, it meaning hot streaks. That from Peter Abram of the Boston Globe. And Cora's doing that with the Red Sox. He is sticking to the fact he rests everybody. Everybody gets time off. And he's playing everybody, of course, on the bench. And so far, it's worked pretty well. Yes. That's the same pitch Castro threw in his first warm-ups for this inning.
Well, it's about where your foot lands. You know, Cashner and Kluber landing a little different. Of course, he looks right down, and you know, your warm-ups sometimes aren't the same as your first pitch. Should be, but
that one hit hard towards the hole. Shift was on. Manny from that outfield position, right on the money.
Yeah, the hardest play, and of course he shifted over there. It's almost like they knew exactly where he was going to hit the ball. It made the play easy.
Shifts takes the hit away. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live at home, in the office, or on the go. MLB.tv. Your subscription includes MLB At Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Which I do, and then I can't figure out how to make it work, so I go find Amanda. She takes my phone, and all of a sudden it works. It's amazing. I have no idea. She works for the Orioles. She knows everything about tech. So whenever my phone doesn't work, Amanda. And that's a lot.
Well, Blair, everything's working for him. So he must go to Amanda too. I don't know. Whatever the deal is, but yeah. All I know is, where was Amanda when my phone froze in Boston?
She was home where it was warm in Baltimore.
Where she was supposed to be.
That's right. Naquin at the plate. One down, nobody on. Naquin fielder's choice, reached on an error, struck out, and a base hit. Another one right through the box. So the Indians get one on here with one down. And they're in double digits. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Another great crowd on hand. 29,000 plus last night. 27,394 on hand today. 27394. And a great day to watch the ball game. Temperature in the mid 60s and a good game. So 10 hits for the Indians. 1 on 1 down. And a real good lead shown. Naquin has done that throughout this series. When he gets on base, he tries to get the pitcher's attention. And you got the speedster Raja Davis at the plate hitting ninth. Walked and scored, is sacrificed and flied out. He got that big leadoff walk in the 5th inning. That one down the line and right will head to the seats.
Yeah, I think one of the things that the Orioles are aware of, and of course Miguel Castro, we told you he's only 23. When they thought about maybe he would start in spring training, he had to start against the Yankees over in Tampa, and of course they started all, they're big guys, Stanton and Judge, but they also, you'd like to be, when you're in the windup, under 1.3 seconds of home plate. He's about 1.5, 1.6. So that has to change. The Indians know that, so we'll see if this is a running situation. Again, a huge lead.
Runner not going. Pitch will get in the outside corner. Raja Davis falls behind 0-2. There are the numbers for the speedster, not scheduled to start today. Zimmer was in the lineup, out with a slight ankle sprain.
So you can see Miguel at 6'7". So how do you change that? Well, you slide step. In other words, slide that front foot. So that gets the ball a little bit quicker. Maybe speed up the windup, get the hand out of the glove a little bit quicker. Well, I had the high leg kick, but you have to slide step. You got to show them that at least you do it. You don't have to do it every pitch, but if you do it and they're running, that's when you throw guys out.
0-2, runner not going, and that ball popped up. First base side. Davis coming in, had a hard time finding it, does, and puts it away.
Yeah, quality pitch, and then Chris comes in.
2 down. So the runner remains at first base, 2 away, and the lineup gets turned over. 4th time through is completed, and Lindor coming up. 2 singles, 2 fly balls to right. So he has had 3 hits, 12 at bats. Switch hitter in the leadoff spot. And that .222 average. And Castro with a chance to get the inning done right here. Lindor, 261 right-handed, just 185 left-handed. And probably, if you're over there at first base, Naquin is, this is when you'll run if you're going to run.
Yeah, you figure, well, if he doesn't make it, then you got Lindor, your leadoff guy, leading off next inning, and if he does make it, then you have a guy that drove in 89 runs last year, even though he's having, for him, a slow start.
2 down. Obviously everybody thinking the same thing, so the throw over. Sandy Alomar Jr., the first base coach, outstanding catcher in his day, and the Alomar family of baseball players. He's got the stopwatch over there timing Castro. Runner not going. In the air. And that'll be in the seats.
See, and that's a slide step, so very difficult to run. And if you're a base runner and you try to steal, the minute you see the quick delivery, you know you're not going to make it. That's why he doesn't try to run. And their advanced scouts, they will tell them what the times are.
McShowalter adamant about that. You cannot play on his ball clubs as a pitcher if you cannot get that delivery to the plate down to where it should be to give your catchers a chance. 0-1 delivery on the way, and that pitch will be taken down low. 1 ball 1 strike count.
Yeah, again, so this is what you call it. I mean, a little low leg kick, but you're 6'7". And you could see what the kind of leverage he has being that. So quicken up everything. Well, Messina did it as well as anybody, but he practiced it.
Naquin not going, and a great off-speed delivery that time, way out in front.
And Francisco Lindor says, I was looking for 95. Really good changeup.
So Lindor down on the count, 1-2. I don't think Naquin's been able to get a very good read over there. He extends his lead, not going though, and that ball fouled back as he reaches out. And the count will stay at a ball and 2 strikes.
What the Indians have done in this series, especially yesterday, they worked the count off of Tillman, 2-0, 3-1, 3-1, hit home runs. Today, if you get to 2 strikes, they made Cashner work because they cut their swings down. They will use the whole field.
1-2 delivery on the way. Thought about it.
Another changeup. So that's why we've seen a number over the course of this series of opposite field hits.
Castro trying to find a way to get one more by Lindor and get him out of there and end the inning. 2-2. And way inside. So a full count, 3-2. And now Naquin can run. Naquin's going to watch as Davis moves behind him at first base.
Yeah, he can run, and it's not as much about, because if he walks, it's not going to be a stolen base. It's scoring on a double. Makes it a lot easier when you get the difference between 3-2 and 2 out when you're running, and 2-2.
3-2 delivery on the way, and he rips it deep to right field. It is turning. Foul. Got way around on that one down near the 318 foul pole. Put it on the foul side.
Yeah, he's listed at 5'11", 190 out of Puerto Rico, and he's got some bat speed. He was the 8th pick in the first round back in 2011.
2 for 2 off Castro in the air to center. Adam Jones started in, has to back up, wind blowing it in a bit, and he will put it away. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Indians up by 1. Wrap up this 4-game series. Kevin Gausman on the mound against Carlos Carrasco. Our coverage on Masson will begin at 6:30. O's Extra. Game coverage at 7. All the access you need right here on Masson. 1 apiece as far as the games go in the first couple. Cleveland ahead in this one by a score of 4-3. Kluber's gone the distance. No walks and 4 strikeouts. And the Orioles will get Joseph, Sardinius, and the top of the order Gentry up against him here in the 8th inning. Cleveland already has 3 shutouts to their credit on the year. Orioles have been shut out a couple of times. Joseph takes the pitch away for a ball, and their starters are working deep into ball games.
Yeah, so Ramirez, even with a bag, I mean, Caleb hit one. He had a rocket, and he snared it down at third, and there's again the cutter. He's gone to the cutter. Fastball velocity is so good as we look at Andrew Miller. Warmed up yesterday, didn't get in the game. The shutout by, and then Brad Brock for the Orioles.
Caleb with the 0 for 2 in the ball game. 1-1 delivery on the way, and that'll be a bloop towards right field, and that's what the Orioles needed. He will get his first hit against a right-hander this year.
Well, that's what he needed.
Caleb's on with a leadoff single.
Well, got to know where the bad hit is. You don't always hit it hard. I mean, just stay inside the ball. So again, fights it off. And how does he do it? He does it with the barrel of the bat.
And he got the pitcher out. So Francona takes the birthday walk out, and that will be it. Kluber will be responsible for the runner on. He'll leave with a chance to win his third game, but the Orioles will try and do a little better than that. So Corey Kluber out into the bullpen. Go the Indians.
Afternoon, he will lead with a lead. Gave up a couple of home runs, both to Manny Machado. 3 runs, which is high for him. Again, no walks. Struck out the side in the 6th. So Andrew Miller comes in, the strikeout machine. 14 and 8 in the 3rd innings. Yet to give up a run. Lefties hit him better than righties. The lefties at what, 300, and Buck Shoulders will say that's a reverse split guy, and the righties had only 105. You know, throws in the mid-90s and has a slider about as good as anybody's in baseball.
Been a setup man and a closer. He's 1 for 1 in save opportunities. Batters have gone 3 for 17 against him when there's been a runner on base, as there is now. Sardinas batting in the 9 spot is 0 for 2. Runner at first base, Joseph, trying to bunt, takes it for a strike. And the wheel is on by the Indians defense as they are charging. Ramirez at third, Alonso at first. Kipnis heads over to cover first base. Lindor, the shortstop, goes to second. So everybody moving, which sometimes will result in a manager taking the bunt off and saying, just get the bat on the ball. Not here. Inside. Again, intending to bunt.
You know, it's not that it's easy. Like we said, righties are only hitting 105, but he's not easy to bunt on. You don't ever practice when you bunt in spring training or before games against somebody that throws like Andrew Miller. Just not happening. Movement, the slider. I mean, 6'7" guy throwing batting practice.
And he went after it. No, it was in there for a strike anyways. And Innis falls behind here, 1 and 2.
That's the slider, and he actually throws that pitch. And you know, the average slider is somewhere in the 83 mile per hour range. Throws it, at least coming into today, 57% of the and the fastball is 42.
Runner off first base, 1-2 delivery, swinging away, and he got him. So Miller comes on and immediately gets the strikeout. 1 down.
Well, 95 of them have been 62 in the 3rd innings last year. So 93, 94 outside corner. Trying to catch up, can't.
Miller against the Orioles is 3-0, and he has 6 saves. He has worked 43 innings against the Orioles and given up only 10 earned runs in that time. 1 down. Joseph still at first base, and the pitch will be taken up. Orioles get top of the order. Craig Gentry. Gentry denied a hit and an outstanding play by Kluber. He tried to bunt his way on in the 6th inning, and Corey Kluber, with a fine pickup and throw, got him out of there. 1-0. Miller's delivery, and then he'll sweep inside. 2-0. Danny Valencia's on deck to pinch hit. Gentry 0 for 3 lifetime off Miller. Working from that third base side of the rubber. Pitch is in there in the inside corner for a strike.
Yeah, came over to the Orioles in 2014, 23 games, and then he can throw another 5 games in the postseason. Only gave up 3 runs. And then traded, got him for Eduardo Rodriguez, who's finally seems to be a little bit healthier for the Red Sox.
Got a 2-ball 1-strike count on Gentry. Alvarez waiting on, would be on deck, but Valencia's ready to pinch hit for him, and a breaking ball inside. Miller not real happy with the release point on that last one. He got away.
Well, what he's able to do usually is throw that back foot slider, so it appears to be a strike, and then it dives at your back foot if you're a right-handed hitter.
No runs, 5 hits, 8 2/3 innings worked so far this year for Andrew Miller.
And they got Gomes behind the plate. If you're ever trying to start a runner, he threw out 40% of the runners that tried to steal last year. So he's got a very good arm, quick release.
Gentry waiting on it. Check swing. Did he go? Yes. Ron Culpa down at first on the check swing call. 3-2.
Well, we told you, the majority of the time, vast majority, he throws a slider. You think you're going to get a fastball, and then
certainly went after that one.
Yep.
3-2 delivery on the way. Gentry gets eaten up on a pitch inside.
And then not only does he throw the fastball, he throws it right on the inside corner. So 2 batters, 2 strikeouts. I mean, zip.
So Danny Valencia will be the pinch hitter. Valencia, of course, brought on to face left-handers off the bench. Alvarez had an 0 for 3. And Valencia will stand in now with 2 down and a runner on at first base. So he's got that great power. Danny does. If he can catch up with one off this left-hander. Valencia is 1 for 7 off Miller. Chopper, shortstop. Force at second. Lindor to Kipnis, and that's that. So Miller comes on and does what he does. Gets outs with people on base. We go to the 9th. Brought to you by T-Mobile.
Well, the Orioles take a 3-2 lead, and then the Indians tie it up, and then Michael Brantley serves one into left field to get the Indians the 4th run. They lead at 4-3. A couple of hits Friday, couple of hits today, one on Saturday. Red hot.
And a 4-3 lead going to the 9th inning, and a good job by Castro. A couple of innings, 2 hits and a strikeout.
Well, he keeps on exactly where you want to go with the Indians hitting in the top of the 9th. Brad Brock, again, no record, The one blown save opening day, a little bit unfortunate. Since then, 7 straight scoreless one-inning appearances. Fastball, slider, really good changeup.
He will face Kipnis, Ramirez, and Brantley are due up. Kipnis an 0 for 4 will take the pitch for a strike. 171 on the year now. Kipnis 3 for 5 off Brad Brock lifetime, and will just miss on the outside corner. Cody Allen, their closer, in the bullpen. Brad Brock an 0-1 record against the Indians in his career with 1 save. Game number 11. 5 runs, 13 hits, 11 2/3 innings worked against Cleveland. So the Indians getting on the board in that 5th inning, 2 runs, and so far that's held up. And that'll be foul back. Orioles getting their runs on the Machado homers and Davis's RBI single. They scored 2 runs in the 4th inning and have not scored since. They've had only 1 hit since the 4th inning, a single by Machado in the 6th. Well, I take that back. They also got 1 in the 8th, 2 hits. 2-ball, 2-strike delivery by Brad. That'll be against the shift to right, and that'll fall in for a base hit. Santander over to get it. Leadoff man on again. Boy, the Indians have done that in this game. For every Orioles walk, Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield contributes $50 to support the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society Light the Night Walk. The O's have drawn 70 walks, total of $3,500. Care First encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. Five out of 9 leadoff man on for Cleveland in the ball game. Ramirez, one of those leadoff men who came all the way around. 4th inning, got his 6th home run leading it off. He's 1 for 3, couple of strikeouts and a walk. Brad Brock's delivery to him will be outside for a ball. Falls behind 2-0.
And he's going to look for a ball to drive into right field with the runner at first being held by Chris Davis. And that's why you like to get ahead. And
Ramirez 0 for 5 off Brad. Orioles have Manny Machado ready to lead off the bottom of the 9th in the air to right field. Way back and goodbye home run. Just what the Orioles did not need to see. A 2 RBI shot. What a series for Ramirez as he gets his 2nd home run. RBIs 2 and 3 of the ball game.
No, and hit another one yesterday. This one really hurts because it's a 2-run home run. So this is your count. Yesterday he hit it on a 3-1 count. Looking for a fastball, gets it, and it looks like it hits right on the padding before the railing going into the flag court.
Orioles are taking a look at it. There'll be no challenge. So Ramirez, home run number 7 on the year, and the Indians have a 6-3 lead. And the pitch will go all the way to the backstop on Brantley. Brantley's had a 2-hit day, double single, 2 for 4, and an RBI. For Ramirez, his 7th career multi-homer ball game. He came into this series not having had a home run against the Orioles in his career, and he's hit 3 in 2 days. Pitch will be taken, and Michael Brantley with that big .356 average stands in with a 2-0 count. Brad Brock surrendering the first home run of the year in a untimely situation. And a 2-ball 1-strike count. So the Orioles down by 3. Much bigger task in the bottom half of the 9th inning. First 2 Indians up here in the 9th, on and in. 2-1 delivery to second base. Sardinas up with this one. Brantley's retired. First out of the 9th inning. The Orioles bullpen came into this game 12th in ERA. They have given up 10 home runs, which is 10th on the list on the negative side among bullpens in the American League. Encarnacion will take the pitch for a strike. A double and a run scored, 1 for 4. The DH is 1 for 10 in this 3 games played so far. 0-1 delivery on the way, and that'll be outside. Orioles, of course, won the opener of this 3-game set behind Dylan Bundy's performance 3-1, losing yesterday 4-0. Mike Clevenger with the complete game shutout. 1-1 wild caught on a Brad Brock pitch away, 1-2.
Yeah, when Encarnacion is getting his pitches, and that wasn't one of them, and he's missing them. But they've done a nice job of establishing that slider, especially Dylan Bundy on Friday night.
That'll go into the shift. Second baseman Sardinius will make the play over and record the out. 2 down. Orioles baseball on Masson, brought to you by LifeBridge Health. The LifeBridge Health Sports Medicine Institute now open at Foundry Row in Owens Mills, covering all your bases head to toe. Base is empty, 2 down here in the 9th inning and 2 runs in. Alonso coming up, RBI double. He's 1 for 4. Ramirez with that home run now has 4 RBIs in the 3 games of this series. Alonso's done some damage with the RBI in this one. He's had 2 in the series. Brad Brock with a 1-0 delivery.
Yeah, get the idea they could hit the fastball pretty well. All 5 home runs in this series, 3 yesterday to 2 today on fastballs. Yesterday they were 86 to 88. Today it didn't matter if they were over 90.
1-1 delivery on the way, will be taken inside. Well, the Indians finding ways to get runs even with that low batting average that they have coming into the ball game. They have now 24 home runs on the year and a base hit up the middle. Alonso's on a multi-hit game for him. 2-out single there in the top of the 9th inning.
But see, that's what fastball command does. Even though he gets the base hit, it's 92 low and away, and he goes right back up the middle. So when you work the count and you get your pitch on the inside half, those are the balls they've been able to drive out of the ballpark. We saw Manny do that against Kluber when he made a mistake, and he didn't make too many. Those were the pitches that got hit. The Orioles have just made more mistakes in the middle of the plate over the last 2 games.
Yan Gomes 2 for 4. Inside out to right field. That one back near the scoreboard. Santander can't get it. It'll take a hop with 2 down, runner going. Alonso's going to come to the plate. They've got a shot. Here's the relay throw. Not in time. A double and an RBI by Gomes, and they extend the lead to 7-3.
Yeah, another fastball that's in the middle of the plate. And he just we've seen him do this. I mean, this is what Camden Yards is about. All a little more lively, big strong guys. Santander not playing out there a lot, so he misplays it. Being turned around, maybe you don't get the run because he plays it off the wall, has a strong arm, but he thinks he can catch it, goes over his head, and there's another run for you. Great approach, though.
Yeah. So Gomes, a 3-hit ball game, and picking up the RBI. And Brad Brock getting tic-tacked here in the 9th inning. 4 hits, the most he's surrendered in an appearance this year. And for the Indians now, they've got 15 hits, a season high for them. They're 1 shy of that. They've got 14 in this game. Araujo up in the bullpen. Naquin at the plate. There are 2 down. The home run by Ramirez came with nobody out. Then they got 2 away. Then the single by Alonso and Yan Gomes with a double for the 2-out RBI. Chopper to the middle, snagged by Brock. and that will retire the side. But a big inning. 3 runs here in the top of the 9th. We go to the bottom of it with the Indians up. Yes, he does. Take a look at our Ford drive of the game. Manny had 2 of them, and this one, the one he got in the 4th inning, number 8. Manny Machado, 2-homer day, but for the Orioles, so far not enough. Hurry to your local Ford dealers for great savings on cars, trucks, and SUVs.
Yeah, so Cody Allen comes on, and he very much like Andrew Miller, even though he's right-handed, yet to give up a run this year. So the closer, of course, Miller certainly capable of pitching more than 1 inning. Does it on all kinds of. But Terry Francona, it's his birthday. He can do whatever he wants to. And he's going to bring in the closer. 30 of them last year, 32, 34 the last 3 years. So, fastball, curveball guy, good arm. Throws a lot of strikes. Very, very good closer for a team that won 102 games last season.
So Manny Machado coming up. 2 home runs, a base hit, 3 for 3. Home runs numbers 7 and 8. 10-game hit streak, and looking for his second 4-hit game of the season. And he will take the pitch from Allen in there for a strike.
Yeah, a lot of late life, and then, as we mentioned, the big overhand curveball to go with it.
So instead of 1 to tie it up, it's 4. That'll be fouled back and out of play.
Well, take a look. I mean, home runs the first 2 times on a fastball and a slider. I mean, there's a cutter. That's strike 1. This is the 3rd time up. High fastball at 94. And then this is when you tip your hat, when you know a guy's hot. It's not maybe the best slider he threw, but certainly not that bad. And he just smokes it into left for a 3 for 3 afternoon.
A 2-strike delivery by Allen. And the air to right. Naquin over. And right up against the wall, makes a nice play.
Yeah, I mean, how often do they play him that far to one side? But he's. And this is a really nice. You know the pads, but you don't play her a lot. Nice play, but they're shifted over.
Yeah, they play much closer to a normal right field than do the Orioles, who give up that right field line. Although he's gone back over towards the gap on Adam Jones. So 1 down here in the bottom half. Jones 1 for 4 off Allen, and a swinging strike called. Allen has had 1 loss, 3 saves against the Orioles in his career. He's worked 12 innings and never given up an earned run against the Orioles.
Yeah. Brad Brock not happy about that performance, because you're right, it kind of puts him right out of the game, and then it doesn't make it easy, but it makes it certainly easier when you come in with a 4-run lead versus 1. You get a guy on, and all of a sudden everything changes.
think Terry Francona brought his closer in here, even though it's not a save situation, because he had him all warmed up, ready to go, and decided what the heck, use him. Did not go around on that. 1 ball, 2 strikeouts. So the Orioles facing the deficit here with 1 down. They've been out hit 14-6 in this ball game. Buck Showalter's team staring their 16th loss in the face. 1-2. Miller worked an inning, couple of strikeouts. Goes through that one, and there are 2 down.
So 94 with great life. It just keeps running in, and you know, you can see where the target is. It doesn't matter. It just goes up the ladder. 2 strikes. You're going to get anybody to chase. Good late movement.
Corey Kluber will get the win. He's going to be 3-1, barring a miracle comeback here. And the loss will go to Andrew Kashner, the Orioles starter, who will be 1-3. Still looking for his first win against the Indians and his first win here at Camden Yards. Allen with 2 down and nobody on. Chris Davis a base hit RBI, and he is struck out and grounded out. Indians will take a 2-1 edge in this 4-game set. Pitch is in there for a strike. Chris Davis 0 for 3 off Allen. Kluber worked 7+, 3 runs, 6 hits, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. 1-1 delivery, off speed pitch for a strike.
Yeah, Cody Allen, he's one of those guys that, and you've seen it more and more, that had Tommy John surgery while in college and then signed. Drafted twice by the Indians, signed the second time.
Davis will put it up in the air, shallow right center. Naquin says, I got it, and the ball game is over. Orioles are retired here in the 9th inning, 1-2-3. Cleveland comes away with the victory, a 7-3 win, and the Orioles are going to need to win one tomorrow to split this 4-game set. Terry Francona gets a gift for his birthday. Join us again tomorrow. The O's and the Indians will wrap up the 4-game set. Kevin Gausman on the mound against Carlos Carrasco. Our coverage on Masson will begin at 6:30 with O's Extra, and game coverage at 7. This has been a Masson presentation. Tom and Rick, they'll be coming up after a short break. Take a look back at a ball game where the Orioles did have a lead, but not in the end. For Jim Palmer and all of our crew, have a great Sunday night. I'm Gary Thorne. Thanks, everybody. Adieu.